Put some pillows against my back here.
The Skype goes on.
The what?
The chat begins. We do the show. It's CESP.
Yeah. Oh, my ribs are really sore.
What have you done to them?
Did I not speak with...
Were you trying to give yourself a blowjob again?
No, I've
I've
learned
this time! Oh.
I've learned to do that without injuring myself, this stage.
Do you go back the other way? Go right round.
Oh, God. I'm sure there's probably people who can do it that way as well.
Yeah.
Down the spine and around the corner. Is Barry there, yeah?
Yeah. I'm listening. I'm a good listener.
Yeah. So how are we, lads? Long time no see.
Fine, thanks.
Well, it's not really a long time. 8 days.
8 long days.
That's long. What's been up then? What have I missed?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Oh, that's good.
Nothing's happened.
Have you anything prepared?
Nope.
We're here with microphones, so...
Yep.
I did a quiz because I was delaying the show a day, so felt guilty.
Is that why you were delaying?
Make it even longer.
Is that why you're delaying the show? Because you were doing the quiz, or?
Saturday night doing the quiz.
Oh, Lord.
It was worth it.
No, I won't even tell you why I missed it, why I wanted to delay it today, because you'll both be mad with me. But we'll
We'll get into that in a second. What episode are we on?
Uh,
Good answer.
97? 6 or 7?
7.
7?
Survivor Series 197. The Montrapole Screwjob. We should come up with the titles first and then make up jokes to fit the titles. That would be a lot easier, wouldn't it?
It would. We'll have to make sure to reference Survivor Series 97.
Someone talk about Canadian sewer workers, and then we can call it the Montreal Poo Job. It's only, 17 years after the fact.
Yeah. No, it's topical. It is. But in wrestling, it always is. It's always being brought up by someone. So. All right.
Oh my god, we can totally make one of these.
I don't even think I'm enjoying this.
No, I like it.
And we did, and it's fantastic.
I adore this game. It is perfect.
Following is brought to you by loudspeak.com.
Episode 1997 of the ChairShot Podcast is here, everyone. Or something like that. Back again on a Sunday night. It's been a while since we've done a Sunday night show. We had a nice little streak there going for a while, but it doesn't matter. Still doing the show. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
I'm your host, as always, Barry Murphy. How's it going, everyone? And with me are my ever-dependable co-hosts. First of all, Mr. Joe Towder.
Hello, Barry.
And Mr. Paul Griffin.
I didn't screw Bort. Bort screwed Bort.
Why have you brought Bort into it?
Because my son is also named Bort.
Okay. Well, listeners.
I watched that episode in the week. That's why it was fresh in my mind.
Okay.
And before we came on the air, we were just talking about the Montreal Poo Job. So
yeah, we were kind of, yeah. Specifically how you wanted to use that as the name, and let's work it in somehow, as opposed to just say it.
I'm not the most subtle man who's ever.
No. That's fine. Boy, oh boy, listeners, have we got a show for you? Oh, We've got.
Well, we just discussed how we don't have a show.
Yeah, we've got.
Don't tell them.
I've seen Raw, and so.
Not what happened on this Raw.
Look forward to that, lads. How's your week been, folks?
Good.
Yeah, fine.
I got new
Good.
work.
Why did we do the show last night then? What was going on there?
Well,
I was busy.
Paul was busy. Yeah, doing what? I wonder.
Well, I'll give you each a guess as to what I was doing.
I'm not gonna.
Give you a guess. Go on.
Let me see. I'm assuming there's a Simpsons tie-in since you referenced the Simpsons. I'm gonna assume you went to a water park and got stuck in a slide.
Did you eat a giant sandwich and get really ill?
No.
This is all your fault. Oh, I can't stay mad at you. Did you stay up all night eating cheese, or?
I don't like cheese. Cheese. Even if it's 64 slices, I'm not a cheese fan. No. In fact, there was a UFC show on last night. Not even pay-per-view. Not even a Fox show. Not even a Fox Sports show.
So FS3.
No, it was one of the ones that's only on the internet.
Oh,
You can't even watch it on telly.
the evolve of UFC shows.
It was one of those Fight Pass shows, live from London, which meant it wasn't in the middle of the night. It was on the telly at like 8 p.m. So we had some people over watching UFC.
Oh, dear.
Sickening.
Yeah. I only have 2 UFC t-shirts, and one of the lads whose t-shirt I had was fighting. So I was like, Armageddon! It's like John Cena! If you had a John Cena shirt, which I don't.
I don't know where to start with that. I don't know where to start with that.
I realize it doesn't work. I realize that analogy doesn't work. I got lost in the middle of it.
If anything, it's an indictment of you, because I can assure you that person is not John Cena.
No, there's...
He'd be more respectable if he was. Better fighter, probably. Won more titles. I guarantee you won more titles, in fact.
He would never give up, that's for sure.
He would never give up.
He's never tapped out once.
Never tapped out. John Cena's never tapped out. And also, I tell you what, the day he does tap out, he'll be in that submission hole for a lot longer than those UFC guys do. Tell you what, they get it on, 1 second later, they're tapping out. Wimps.
Rubbish.
Oh, Lord.
Anyway, who won?
Oh, he won. Yeah, he won.
Oh, good. Or at least you
Called out John Jones and said, brother.
called out John Jones on this show. Imagine on Velocity, people calling out Triple H.
It was essentially the equivalent of that, yeah. It's like if a tree falls in the forest.
Yeah.
You know, it's sort of that. It was a fun show. I enjoyed it.
Does it win by technical knockout? Interesting question, Paul.
I'll ponder that one now.
But yeah, so that's why we're here on a Sunday. That doesn't matter, folks. It doesn't matter. You know, we're here. We're here in the end. That's all that matters.
We're queer, and we don't want any more bears.
No. Oh boy.
Can I just, before we start as well,
I'm getting
apologize more for my Lena Dunham comment last week.
Your what?
Lena Dunham.
Lena Dunham.
I don't understand who is that and what was that comment?
Oh, she's the fat one off of Girls.
Oh, well, yeah, if you'd said that to me, I would have recognized, yeah, but I don't know her name. Yeah.
So I just want to say it again. Lena, good show.
Good show.
Well, why are you still harping on this?
Because I
made incredibly insensitive homophobic comments.
How are they?
I wouldn't necessarily say the comments.
I thought they were fatophobic.
No, didn't he say she looked like a lesbian or something?
I'm not going to elaborate anymore, but I'll just apologize unreservedly again for my brash, thoughtless remarks, and I'll be making an effort going forward to try and be funny, but not at the expense, not the laughter of hate, basically.
It's a good job they never have any black people in that show, otherwise you'd be in more trouble.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think Paul's
I'm a fan of the black people.
Well, Paul's just kind of, you know, feeling ashamed because yesterday was International Women's Day, and he just reflected, and he was like, you know what, I'm not very nice to women, ever.
I am.
Well, you wish you would an apology for something you did a week ago, so you know.
Yeah, that's nice. Apologising. Most of
too
proud.
It's also nice to just not say horrible things to begin with, Paul, isn't it?
Well, listeners, if you heard these two off the air, I look like an angel.
No. Everyone knows. Everyone who follows me on Twitter knows I never say stupid things ever.
No.
So anyway, thanks, love, whoever you are, for
Well done.
So on the subject of that, what have you guys been watching this week? What have you been up to?
I watched the Oscars this week.
Ooh, what did you think of the winners and all that?
Well, Jennifer Lawrence fell down again.
Earlier today I saw an article. I didn't even click on it. I couldn't bring myself to click on it. 12 things we learned from Jennifer Lawrence at the Oscars. Oh, fuck off. I hope one of them was how to fuck off.
I hope she falls over from a plane and that.
What?
Well, the funny thing was, I live tweeted the Oscars, much as how Joe used to do Raw, and I tweeted that Jennifer Lawrence showed up looking like Hillary Clinton's weak-chinned, retarded cousin.
Oh God!
Which Barry then tweeted also in the week.
To be fair, I didn't know until you just said it. I did not know you tweeted that. I did not.
I'm not saying that you're plagiarizing. I'm just saying great minds think alike.
Yeah, because it was pretty stunning the way she did look exactly like her. Although again, I wouldn't have said the R word. I wouldn't have said
Okay, I apologize for as well then. Oh.
I probably just said, "Oh, there's a beautiful and radiant woman who happens to look like Hillary Clinton, a damn fine woman, a damn fine politician." I believe that was what my tweet said. I think that's 140 characters, I believe. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Also, Ellen DeGenerate took a picture.
Oh, God.
Because that's the first time anyone's ever taken a picture.
WWE did that like 2 years ago with Big Johnny, and people didn't fall over. Well, they did.
Oh, yeah.
That was our
artwork.
Oh, and then after the Oscars, a bunch of fucking nobodies and Renee Young did it backstage. Zack Ryder and Alicia Fox and people did one. It's like, ew. Yeah. If you're going to try and imitate it, you could have at least gotten some stars in there to do it, like The Undertaker.
Oh, God.
The Undertaker and Brock. And, it would be a good DeGeneres.
They had Renee Young in there, the host.
Yeah.
It's considerably more attractive, but And
100 times a better host, because Ellen DeGeneres was shite.
I didn't see any of it, so I don't know if she was any good. But...
it was your typical C-level American comedy stylings.
Yeah.
Not funny. Not funny at all. I mean, I thought Jim Carrey was great when he showed up to present. I thought he was very funny. And then Harrison Ford presented from another dimension.
Which?
I don't know which one he was in, but he was not of this world for sure. As far as the winners go, I thought it was pretty good. I don't think Cuarón should have got Best Director. But aside from that,
then it was all in space and that. So
yeah. I mean, generally though, I'm in the consensus of people, along with I think both of you, or I definitely know Paul, but who thought Gravity was good, but it's not a best film or in any regard, acting, directing, it's not the best in any regard. I don't think. I think that's frankly a mental pick.
I thought 12 Years a Slave as Best Picture was fair. I mean, for me, there was only 3 that really deserved to get it, and that was 12 Years, as well as Her and Nebraska. So I was happy that 12 Years got it. And then Steve McQueen did a little jump at the end. What else? Yeah, the Dallas Buyers Club's guys, McConaughey and Jared Leto. Yeah, I thought they...
Academy Award winner Matthew McConaughey, he is now.
Oh, right. I would have given it to DiCaprio, but
McConaughey was better in Wolf of Wall Street than DiCaprio.
I thought DiCaprio was good in Wolf of Wall Street. I thought he deserved it there. Cate Blanchett.
The Oscars are a flat circle. It's just constant Leonardo DiCaprio not getting one again and again and again and again.
Oh, the True Detective finale is this.
Oh yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah.
Well, we're all caught up, are we?
Yeah, as of I don't think I was last week, but I'm officially caught up. What a great show! What a great show!
Yeah. Oh, it's brilliant.
Brilliant show.
I've said it again and again. I might have even said it on this show just last week, but I keep saying to people how it was only 3 months ago when the Breaking Bad finale was on, and I stood up at the end and said, "Okay, no show will ever be better than that." And it's taken just a couple of months.
Yeah, it's great. I'm really interested in the fact that they're kind of doing a one and done with those characters and then new characters in season 2. I think that's cool.
Yeah, I look forward to
the show could theoretically have very long legs if they do that.
They could also get like really high quality actors as well if they're only doing one season.
Yeah, kick off with like Harrelson and McConaughey, and now it's like they probably have the next season cast, but I imagine there's people kind of clamoring like, oh fuck, I want to be in season 3, I want to be in that, that's good.
Yeah. One thing though, if I never see another tweet with hashtag True Detective Season 2, randomers, it'll be too soon.
Yeah. Are we coming off as very hipstery, we're cooler than the internet on this show?
I hope so. Because we are.
Yeah, that's true. I can't talk. I'm the worst for it, but yeah.
I don't know. These trends that catch on, and are funny at first.
Yeah, I definitely noticed, like, in recent years, as I got older and I kind of became more internet savvy, I feel like I was on the ground floor for some of these jokes.
Yeah.
And then when all your friends on Facebook start catching on 6 months later, you're like, ugh. I'm not trying to be a twat. I've heard this run into the ground before.
I think it's because all these jokes just have a formula to them. Well, memes, basically. So anyone can just do it. You don't need to have a sense of humour. You just need to take step 1, find a picture of 2 people. Step 2, put hashtag True Detective Season 2 on it. I've done a joke.
Yeah.
Well, I even as far as internet memes and jokes go, I mean, if it's inventive enough and, I can appreciate it, even if it's been done to the ground.
Yeah.
But when it is something that takes no, ingenuity or thought, like the True Detective Season 2 joke, it can be a bit, I don't know, I'm tired. I was tired of it as soon as I'd seen 1.
Excuse me, belching on air like that. I apologize. But yeah, where were we? We got on True Detective. We were on the Oscars, weren't we?
Yeah, I think pretty much all the awards is fair. People were complaining that it was a very predictable show, but for me that just speaks to all the people who won pretty much deserved to win.
Wasn't there a story that some Academy members came out and said that we voted for 12 years without seeing it?
We're seeing it, yeah. Well, I mean, that is the way it's done. You're not obliged to have seen all the movies, even though, I had. So I would have put me on the Academy. I
had Academy. What's your excuse?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, at what point can you be on the Academy? Fair enough if you didn't have the time to see Philomena or whatever. But 12 Years a Slave? I mean,
they send them the DVDs as well. It's not like they have to leave the house to go to the cinema and pop down the £12. They get the DVDs and then they leak them, which is a bit of a shame.
What is the qualification to get on that thing?
You have to be a member of the Academy, which, I don't know, you either have to be nominated or do something.
I mean, surely it should be an obligation to vote to have seen all the movies.
Yeah, that seems basic. It's not like you're asking a whole lot.
Not even in terms of not having seen the people who hadn't seen 12 Years a Slave, for example, because then even the viewing figures are skewed, so not all the movies are being judged on a fair basis. So it doesn't really matter because I think everything that won, for the most part, deserved it.
They should randomly select like a few thousand people and take them all off to watch all the films and then have them vote afterwards.
Yeah.
That'd be fairer.
And I mean, even so far as getting nominated in the first place, you have to put yourself. You have to basically pay in order to be even taken into consideration to be nominated. So that's why some films from last year, and also the strategic release dates of films to be coming out right around Oscar season.
Mm-hmm.
So films like Upstream Color, for example, wasn't even put forward by the director. So it's not in consideration at all. I mean, surely out there must be some fair film awards where you don't have to pay to be put forward for consideration, and the people will watch the movies.
I suppose it's like what is fair though. To some people, a public vote is fair, and I think that's nonsense. You know what I mean?
That's true.
I mean, I would much rather, because I remember I had this discussion with a friend of mine about video Game of the Year awards last year. I was like, I invest so much more stock in a panel of sort of critics or whatever that I respect than, a fan voted thing. But then again, there's other people who think that critic voted awards are slobbery. So it's just like, you're never going to please everyone. But I do think that the Academy Award system is a bit all over the place.
Yeah, I think the best way to do it would just be do the Paul Griffin Awards.
Yeah.
They'd be more prestigious than the Oscars.
On this show.
And it'd just be a little statuette of my head.
Yeah.
Probably with a hamburger or something.
In the mouth there.
It's good.
In the ear.
Yeah, we'll look into that for next year.
Lovely.
I mean, this time next year we'll probably just be doing a film podcast, so like whatever.
No. I don't think I'd ever do a film podcast. It doesn't seem like my kind of thing. I have seen movies this week, by the way.
Me too. Speaking of Oscar season, I watched Texas Chainsaw 2013 film.
The new one.
Yeah, not the remake, as I heard you almost say there.
I was going to say the remake.
I was in the mood last night to watch some real shit, some real fucking dire nonsense on Netflix, and I saw that was on there, and I knew it was only released last year. I was like, oh, this is probably shit tier, and it was. So basically, this is not a reboot. This is a sequel to the original, right? So it opens with a montage of the original film. And then it picks up immediately after, where basically a bunch of redneck Texans come up to the house, because of course at the end of the first film a girl gets away and she tells her story, and so a bunch of hicks come up to the Leatherface house and they basically bombard it with petrol bombs and shoot the shit out of it and stuff like that. And one little baby survives and is adopted by one such mob member. And she then finds out that she is related to these crazy cannibal family. And she goes on an adventure. And it was one of the worst films I've ever seen, easily. It was stunningly cheap looking. Like, it looked like it was made straight for DVD. I believe it was a #1 box office smash in America, because it was released in 3D, of course.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, it's really poor. And the best thing about it is, by which I mean the worst thing, is it's sort of a generic shitty slasher film for half of it, and then the second half is she has, for lack of a better term, a turn, the main character does, and it kind of becomes about how she and Leatherface are bound together by family ties, and that he is an anti-hero because humanity is the real monster, man. They killed his family. Come on, like, okay, let's look inwards to find the real monster, shall we? Yeah. And it was shit, but the main one is really hot. She's the one with nice tits out of True Detective. The big nice tits that Paul doesn't like.
I don't think I don't like him is fair.
That's pretty much what you said.
Well, you did talk for about 5 minutes about how you preferred other ones and you weren't too impressed with them.
I just said they're very big, and I'm not a fan of the two big ones.
But anyway, she was.
Should have a sore bag.
She probably would, but yes, not much of a lead.
She would when I'm done with her. Hey, hello. Because I'd have her garden.
Not much
breaking up.
You'd have her
Keep
carrying
busy,
shopping in.
Jesus, get that dinner in the oven.
Not much of a leading lady, but it's pretty. I give her that much. So yeah, that was fucking dreadful. I think that was the only film I saw this week. I decided to watch Texas Chainsaw 3D, as it was actually known in cinemas. Simply known as Texas Chainsaw on Netflix, because it's not 3D. And there's a bunch of really annoying, blatant, extended shots of the chainsaw coming through things and the camera hovering on it, because of course it was blatantly made to be shown in 3D at cinemas. Real tacky shite. It was rubbish. But yeah, what else? I did see. I didn't see too many other films. I did start watching a little television show. You gents may have heard of it. It's about some kooky cats getting up to some shenanigans. It's called Frasier. No. I actually started watching a television show called It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh, Frasier's better, I think.
Well, it is.
I've heard it's funny and what? That is very good.
What?
I've heard It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is very good.
Yes, it's very good. I've only seen the first 3 episodes, but Based on the ones I've seen, I can see myself powering through that very, very quickly, a lot quicker than I do a variety of other shows. And it is really good. It is really, really good. So yeah, I don't have any more to say on that because I've only seen a few episodes. And I finished House of Cards.
I'm still only on episode 1 of that.
It's not particularly great, which is a shame because the first season was. But
I watched the first 3 episodes today of the season 2, so it's been okay so far.
It doesn't really go beyond it's been okay, and in certain areas it kind of goes significantly below it's been okay. But it's not a disaster or anything. But the first couple of episodes of the next season would want to really grab me in order for me to continue with them.
I like the fact in the first series it could be.
I'm still on episode 1. Don't forget.
Well,
of season 1.
I'm going to spoil it. I was going to talk about the tone.
Well, go on. No, I just want to be sure.
And then he dies, and then
don't tell him that he's a ghost in the second season. Jesus,
shit, bugger.
Claire, pass the blue.
It's quite camp and a bit over the top in the first series, and in the second it seems to be a bit more. But it's more like 24 or something. Just a silly.
There is a subplot
dramatic.
that is very 24.
Yeah. With a character who looks a bit like Foodage from the forum.
Another one.
Yeah, he looks like a slightly older Foodage rather than a middle-aged one.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's not terrible. It's okay. It's not the oh my god, go out and get Netflix thing that the first series was.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's worth sticking on. It's only 12 or 13 episodes.
It's better than Derek.
It's better than Derek. It is indeed.
I think it says that on the Netflix.
But yeah, so yeah, I watched that. It's Always Sunny, persevering with Anna Partridge and all that stuff. I talked about that a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, that was my media intake this week.
Oh. Yep.
One of you other lads there can pick up the flow of the show.
I haven't watched anything else.
Okay, well, here's the segment of the show everybody's been waiting for. The world has been waiting for. It's what movies did I watch this week?
Mm-hmm.
And there's two entries.
Stick the kettle on there, lads, if you want.
And they're both very much the dumb action genre.
Mm-hmm.
First one was the new release, out in cinemas, Non-Stop, starring Liam Neeson.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and that's very good.
Really?
I wouldn't say it's bad. It's probably just on the right side of, average.
Get these motherfucking taken off this motherfucking plane.
Not even, unfortunately. Not even.
Yeah. Oh.
It's basically a wacky, basically Cluedo on a plane, essentially.
That sounds great.
I know it's everything.
Colonel
about
Mustard in the bathroom.
Everything about it sounds great, and then when you watch it, it's full of plot holes. It's not particularly exciting or interesting, and then it just sort of ends, and then it sort of goes wink wink. 9/11. Remember that happened, and then the film ends. Yeah, it's very heavy handed in its allegory.
What does it turn out? They're on one of the 9/11 planes. Is that it?
No. Although that was, I believe, the plot of United 93, wasn't it? And also, if anyone has ever seen the movie Remember Me, starring Robert Pattinson,
I cannot say I have.
That also has a 9/11 twist ending, where shock horror, it's 9/11. Spoilers.
It's like the Montreal Screwjob of movies.
It very much is. It's the new. It was him all along. Like, in modern horror, there's very much this trope now where it's like in slasher movies or not necessarily slasher movies, but general sort of spooky thriller movies, where it was the lead character who's a schizophrenic. It was him all along.
Yeah.
Like that's used so often nowadays. And now it seems like there's this new thing where, it was because 9/11 and the government.
Mm. I remember how annoyed I was when, spoilers for a 4-year-old video game, When it turns out at the end of Heavy Rain, which is a game about finding a killer, you've been playing as him all along. The worst thing is that game has a mechanic where you can listen to the character's internal thoughts. He doesn't think about being a killer during the course of the game, which is kind of a big plot hole, but that's a whole other argument. But yeah, I don't like that whole it was me all along, untrustworthy narrator.
Yeah,
stuff.
I feel like what you're shown in the movie should be it, you know? I mean, I think, although sometimes it's used in a clever way when it's what you're seeing is not actually what's happening, if it's implied that the character has some sort of mental deficiency where what you're seeing is maybe what the character is interpreting as seeing. Like, that's fine. But when you're being intentionally misled through what you're being shown, I feel like it's a bit of a cop-out where they're like, oh, what you actually saw was not real. It was him. He was there. I don't like that at all. And now I don't like these 9/11 endings either.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about Nonstop as well is I generally like mystery movies because you can sort of play along in a way and try to follow the clues.
Yeah.
But this is one of those ones where you follow the clues, and then at the end they just go, "Oh yeah, it was this." The clues did.
It was Mo.
So I mean, in actual fact, in this movie, the clues are often now when it's revealed at the end what has happened, all the clues become plot holes because they make no sense. The movie just falls apart, and I'd give it like a 5 or a 6 out of 10. I wouldn't recommend it unless you were sort of in the mood for something completely dumb and pointless in the end. There were some nice things. The way they show text messages was pretty clever, I thought. Like he gets text message and it flashes up on the screen as sort of a speech bubble. And then there's one moment in the movie where he has this, like, another phone is broken. So when he lifts it up, the speech bubble is all cracked. I thought it was quite clever.
That's cool. They do that in
certain bits of the speech is obscured.
You might not have seen it yet, but yeah, they do that in House of Cards.
Oh,
I actually hate that because as someone who has ADD and is always checking my own phone, I'll sometimes miss like little dialogue bits because they're having a silent text message conversation and I'm fucking on Twitter or playing the Angry Birds.
Well, there you go. So Nonstop, I would say, non-great. Ultimately. And then the second movie I saw was The Expendables 2.
Oh, aye.
Which I went out and bought on Blu-ray last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd say I pretty much enjoyed it on about the same level as Expendables 1. I think I preferred the first one. Yeah, generally fun. Generally quite fun. It never really gets super, super fun. But it's quite enjoyable for the duration of it. And it's so incredibly stupid.
Yeah.
I'd say it's even dumber than the first movie. I said that the first one was the dumbest movie I'd ever seen. So now this one is.
Trying to remember who's in the second one.
It's
Harrison Ford? Or was he in the third one?
Stallone, Statham, Jet Li is in it for the first 5 minutes. Randy Couture, Terry Crews, they're the main gang. Jean-Claude Van Damme is the villain. You also have Schwarzenegger. Liam Hemsworth, not even the good Hemsworth. Chuck Norris. Is there? That's basically the main cast. I think Van Damme is a lot of fun in it, but he's not in it enough. You're sort of left wanting more of him. There is a very cool. My favorite bit of the whole movie is at the, sort of near the beginning, where Jean-Claude Van. This is sort of gives you an idea of the tone of this movie. Jean-Claude Van Damme spin kicks a knife into a man's heart, and that's the best bit of the movie. It's very, very cool. And it's just your general, big muscle, giant gun, explosions, no brain movie. And if that's what you're in the mood for, give it a watch. I thought it was fun.
That's what I like in my movies.
Yeah. So there are the two movies I watched this week. I bought Delicatessen on Blu-ray yesterday.
Never heard of it.
It's a French movie.
No, that's why.
Genet, the same guy who did Micmacs, which I think is...
Barry tried to watch a French movie once, but they kept showing text messages on the screen like the whole time.
I was like, come on.
What is... too much texting. What's going on?
Also, I just don't like French because they don't know how to cook steaks.
Apparently, yeah.
Well, they don't know how to cook any meat, really.
See, people warned me about that before I went, and I was like, yeah, that'll be fine. So I just emphasized when I went to the restaurant, I was like, can I have steak very, very well done? And they gave it to me, and it was fucking answering me back when I was trying to eat it. It was horrid. Anyway, about this film, anyway, go on.
No, that's there's not much you can say about Expendables, really.
No, the French one, I mean.
Oh, well, I've not seen it yet.
Oh, well, never mind then. Don't tell us about it then. Until you've seen it.
Delicatessen. Well, if anyone out there listening has seen Micmacs, it's that I really like that one. And it's the same director, so I have high hopes. Delicatessen. So it came in a nice case as well. It's very, very nice, and it was cheap. And I also bought the South Park game.
Oh yeah, how's that
Stick
going?
of Truth.
What sort of game is it?
It's sort of Paper Mario, Skyrim. I guess there's aspects of Skyrim to it.
It's an unusually deep role playing game from what I've seen.
I wouldn't say it's deep necessarily. It's light enough.
But for what you're expecting, like it's
Oh yeah,
if you're for like it's like a South Park game first, but they've also made like a competent RPG that you can actually put a bit of thought into.
I'm about two hours in. Got it yesterday. It's a lot of fun. So far I've just really been exploring the town. I mean, the town is really well put together. You can explore the entire town basically.
Yeah, that's cool.
And it's sort of a side-on view, so it's just interestingly done.
Watching people play it looks like the show. Like, it looks so good.
Oh yeah, it completely does. I for some reason thought it was out on PS4. So when I went to buy it at the weekend, I went and they didn't have it until it was pointed out to me that it's on PS3.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, all right. I don't know why I thought it was on PS4 for some reason. Like, I know it's been in production now for years.
Yeah.
But I don't know why. For some reason I thought it was on PS4. So like, oh.
Well, because it's even the few remaining big games coming out on the old consoles, most of them are coming out on the new ones as well. Watch Dogs and all that jazz. Yeah, but yeah, I'm probably not going to get around to playing that, so I'm kind of glad.
It's really, really good. It's really good.
I mean, I haven't watched South Park consistently in years, but from what I've seen, it actually looks quite funny, the game.
It is. It's very funny. I would say that if people are going to play it, they probably do need to have at least a basic knowledge of South Park and the South Park universe. That's the general knowledge of South Park, not the fans, by the way. And yeah, I think it's pretty good. I mean, it's not a really deep RPG. It's but the detail they go into in terms of the South Park world is pretty deep. And yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. I've not really got much into the story, just these little side quests. It reminds me a bit as well of what game was it now? I don't know if you ever played Simpsons Hit and Run.
No.
There's a little bit of that to it as well. Insofar as it's based on a cartoon that's quite well realized, and just sort of fetch missions, that sort of thing.
For what games did you say?
Simpsons Hit and Run.
Yeah, that's what I kind of thought when I saw it.
A little bit of that to it as well.
I remember like one of the cool things about that when I played it was like, I can actually just go into the Quickie Mart and hey, there's an arcade and you can press the button and you'll get a little joke out of it, and this is like, okay, this is a fun little Springfield tour I can go on. That's cool,
Yeah.
It's a good idea. So yeah. Glad that you're enjoying that. Chris Blake doing a Let's Play of that on Let's Play Loudy Speak.
Oh, and of course I'm playing Mario World still.
Which Paul is also doing as well, fumbling around like a buffoon in a 20-year-old Super Nintendo game. To be fair, I couldn't have the patience to try and find all those like exits or whatever it is. I could just about probably beat that game, regular style, let alone any of that.
Well, I've not played it for a few days now. The last one I put out, I actually had recorded like 3 days before. Yeah, I'm really liking Mario World. I learned how to fly in it, by the way.
Yeah. And, I saw that. Yeah,
I was very happy. That's legitimately the first. That was on camera. Was legitimately the first time I'd ever flown in that game. I don't know how long I've been playing the game for.
A whole new world. Don't you dare close your eyes, Mario.
Hold your breath. It gets better.
Did you play Tomb Raider, Paul? When it came out?
I've never played a Tomb Raider game.
You've never played a Tomb Raider game?
No.
Wow, okay. Well, to be honest with you, the original ones don't hold up, so don't worry. But if you have PS Plus, which I don't know if you do or you don't, but it's free for us this week in the EU.
My brother has Tomb Raider on the PS3.
Oh, okay. Well, fair enough, so.
But I didn't play.
Also on PS Plus is Brothers, which I played this week, which is kind of like last year's answer to Journey or Limbo.
Oh, I really like Journey. So.
Yeah, it's kind of that sweet, artistic kind of indie game gimmick is that you play as these two brothers trying to find medicine for their dad. Control one with the left stick, control one with the right stick, and there's lots of little puzzles and platforming that use that gimmick. It's good. It's not as good as Journey or anything like that, but it's free on PS Plus. PS Plus is a great service.
Well, Journey wasn't even so much about being a good game as much as just being
a kind of stunning.
Look at for most of it.
Yeah, stunning kind of artistic thing. I have the Journey soundtrack actually on my.
Yeah, I got it as part of the pack I got.
Yeah.
Yeah, as well. I got it with Flower and
Flow. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that Brothers is good. I tried to download Tomb Raider to replay it, but my PS3 is full. I have to delete some shit off that. But yeah, Tomb Raider is also very good if you've PS Plus, so check that out.
Mm-hmm.
I also played a bit of Dishonored as well, which I don't know if you've seen that, but it's...
Well, I have. I only got about an hour into it. I just didn't enjoy it while I'd been playing of it.
Really? I played the first mission, the first like proper mission. And
I don't think I even got that far. Maybe I'll have to give it another go after South Park.
I'd say give it a go, because I played the tutorial. It's like, oh, okay, whatever, this is fine. And then I got to the first mission, and it's just really cool, kind of open-ended, kind of, if you like the Hitman games, it's kind of like that, but minus a lot of the frustrations of that, because I find those games quite tough. Whereas this, you've got all these powers, and you can move around a lot better.
I think it was because I had just played Infamous 2 beforehand, and Infamous 2 was very smooth in terms of controls, very free flowing, and then I played Dishonored, and I didn't like the controls coming straight off Infamous. It felt very restrictive and clunky, so maybe if I was to go back to it now, I wouldn't have the Infamous controls so fresh in my mind, you know.
I mean, one thing that is weird about Dishonored is that I'm not super big on like first person platforming and stealth.
Yeah,
I think that's a weird way to do platforming and stealth, because you can't see your guy, so you don't know how in and out of cover he is. You don't know if he's reaching for something. But yeah, it's I would say give it a go. It's really fun to play, and the levels are super open-ended, so it's really up to you what you do. It's a lot of games make that promise, but not a lot of them really deliver. So yeah, I'm probably going to finish that soon, so that's good. So I've been playing some games. And my film watching and game playing universe was turned upside down this week when they announced they're doing a Last of Us film. Couldn't believe that.
I don't know how excited I'd be about that, honestly.
Well, see, because if someone had said to me, "Do you want that 6 months ago?" I would have said, "Nah," because I don't want people getting involved in that, messing it up. But when they announced it, it's like the guy who wrote the game's writing the film, and he's producing it, and Naughty Dog co-presidents are producing it, and Sam Raimi is going to be producing it. So I'm like, these are people I would trust. I'm cautiously optimistic. I mean, if Keanu Reeves is cast in the lead as Ellie, and Zack Snyder is announced as the director, then I'll be concerned. But I'm cautiously optimistic based on the first details. But we'll see.
I'm just not sure about the whole video games being made into movies. Anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, the game already exists. That's it. To me, it's the equivalent of Hollywood remaking, Asian cinema for American audiences. I mean, the original already exists. It doesn't need to be. That's
an interesting comparison. I mean, I kind of thought of it more as superhero films in the sense that there's a lot of shitty superhero films, but eventually, if you make enough of them, one of them is going to turn out to be, Spider-Man.
But even or even Batman. But I mean, generally,
Batman,
the Spider-Man Batman films are
the exception.
Well, they're more adaptations rather than like. I imagine if they make a Last of Us movie, it's pretty much going to be probably a beat-for-beat retelling of the same story from.
Yeah, that's what I'm guessing. Yeah.
So.
Be interesting though. I mean, I'm not when more details emerge. I think casting and directors are going to be a big deal. So I'll become cynical when details come out and I don't like them. But I like what I've heard so far.
Well, I mean, there was plans for the Uncharted movie for so long.
Yeah, where did that go?
As far as games being made into movies, I mean, Uncharted is pretty much as close to a movie as you get already. In a game,
Wonder whatever happened to that. Oh no, I think I've read what happened to that BioShock movie. I think it's done. I don't think it's happening.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. What else was there? Kane and Lynch. Bruce Willis was supposed to be in that, and that never happened. What else was there? Prince of Persia happened, and it wasn't very good.
Super Mario.
Donkey Kong never happened. Only got a TV show out of that. Someone had a Donkey Kong sign at Raw and held it up behind Bret Hart during that pre-show thing. Oh, Bret Hart. Anyway, yeah, so that's movies and film and TV and game and all that stuff that we played and watched this week.
Yeah.
So before we dive into emails, do we want to do a little quizzy quiz?
Yeah, I have a quiz ready. This
Go
is
on,
just an apology for delaying the show a day. It's a longer one, so I've tried not to put so much thought into, like, all the answers are pretty much one-word answers. You're not going to have to list me, 18 wrestlers, whatever, or all the wrestlers who's ever been in a Royal Rumble.
All the finishers performed at Rock Bottom 98. I just gave away next week's quiz. Shit, forget I said that, Biff.
Oh, right.
Snowplow.
Well, the main event was a stunner into a grave, as I recall. No, it wasn't. Didn't Kane tombstone the Undertaker into the grave?
I don't know, man.
Rock bottom right there. I don't
think I've ever seen that show.
Yeah, that was. I think the finish was Kane giving Undertaker a tombstone into the grave.
And as most people have found out since the network launched, they are not worth going back to watch.
No.
Especially in this day and age.
In fairness, Rock Bottom 98 did have Steve Austin chasing Paul Bearer up the ramp, so that was pretty funny. And then
Hall of Fame inductee Paul Bearer.
Oh, yeah.
And Hall of Fame inductee Steve Austin.
Yeah. Okay, well, anyway, we know what pay-per-view is tonight, don't we, lads?
Nope.
UFC, another one?
It's TNA Lockdown. So...
I was annoyed about that earlier in the week. I was like, what's on Challenge tonight at 1 o'clock? Season 6 of Price is Right?
Yeah.
Why can't they just stream it? Maybe there's a technical or a cost reason why they're not doing it, but it seems bollocks that they can't. Because in 2014, after...
Yeah, but they can't put adverts in it.
Just do it during the women's match or during the Magnus match.
I mean, maybe it's just something about TNA that they can't broadcast something internationally live.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe Joe's right. It could be that. But Channel 4, they used to do do tape delay. We'll put ads in, and although that was 2001, that was pre-internet. Not pre-internet, but pre-live tweeting days. But yeah, anyway, sorry. Yeah, Lockdown is tonight.
So it's a Lockdown quiz.
Oh, I'm gonna fail this.
We have questions in pairs.
In cages.
Each pair of questions is based on 1 year of lockdown. Okay.
Okay.
So who would like to go first?
Joe can go first.
Joe, do you want to go first?
I will go first.
Okay, this one's for Joe. Okay, Joe, question 1. In which year was the first lockdown pay-per-view held?
Don't know.
It's incorrect, Joe.
2003.
That is incorrect. Do you want to have a guess, Barry?
2004.
No, it was actually 2005.
Oh,
Shit.
Barry, what was the main event of that show?
AJ versus Abyss.
That is correct.
Yeah, I knew that was... I didn't know the year, but yeah.
Yeah, 2005, AJ Styles versus Abyss. So Barry takes the lead. Joe.
No, me.
Barry takes the lead. What did I say?
Yeah, but it's my... He got 2 questions right there, didn't he? Oh, no, sorry, my question was...
Your question wasn't it?
You idiot.
Apologies.
Can I have a bonus point for that, please?
Joe gets 10 bonus points for the incredulity penalty.
Incredulity. Who's guys? Joe. Sorry, I'm going to write this down now. Joe got the first question. Hang on. Joe. Barry. Okay, Joe. Lockdown 2006, which, for those who are interested, was the first lockdown that I watched. Bullet Bob Armstrong defeated Conan in what kind of contest?
I know this.
Sorry, repeat the question.
Lockdown 2006, Bullet Bob Armstrong defeated Conan in what kind of contest?
Right. It was a wrestling match.
It was not a wrestling match, Joe.
I don't think Joe's ass is in this.
Oh. I don't
know
know.
the answer.
Do I know the guess, Joe?
Blindfold match.
Barry?
Arm wrestling contest.
It was an arm wrestling.
In a cage!
A cage arm wrestling contest. Right, this might be a tougher one for Barry here. So Joe, this could give you a chance to steal.
Okay.
Chris Sabin. This is also a Lockdown 2006, by the way. Chris Sabin defeated Elix Skipper, Petey Williams, Chase Stevens,
Yeah.
Shark Boy,
Yeah.
and Puma in an escape match. What are the rules for an escape match?
Oh man, is it just fuck? Everyone first guy out of the cage wins.
It's not first. That would make sense, Barry, but in fact, it's not first guy out of the cage wins. Joe?
First guy into the cage?
No, although I like your line of thinking.
Shit.
In fact, it's a pinfall elimination match. And then when it gets to the final two, it becomes escape the cage.
Oh,
Oh, shit.
of course I didn't get that.
In typical TNA nonsense. Joe, what was unique about the Team 3D versus LAX match at Lockdown 2007?
Ooh, was it in an electrified cage?
It was an electrified.
I just the cage was disgusting. Yeah.
Where when someone hit the cage, they would flash the lights and play a sound effect.
The blue lights. Ugh.
That was on Botchamania.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Barry.
A classic.
Also Lockdown 2007.
Go on.
Sen Shi,
Yeah.
low-key,
Yeah.
defeated Austin Starr, now Austin Aries. Which current WWE Hall of Famer was the guest referee?
Fuck. Ricky Steamboat.
No, good guess though, Joe.
Sorry, Joe's been attacked by his microphone.
Joe? Joe? Are you still there, Barry?
I'm still here. Yeah.
What's happening? Okay, maybe someone might have attacked Joe or something. So we'll.
Sorry. I'm
Joe,
back.
do you know what the answer is?
Is it Bob Backlund?
It was Bob Backlund.
Oh,
Was it?
Yeah.
That was a complete guess.
So yeah,
what a match for him to referee.
yeah. Senshi against Austin Starr with Bob Backlund as the guest ref. I think that's when Austin Starr and Bob Backlund were a team. I think he started using the chicken wing actually back then. Right, Joe. That's your question. Yeah. The score is 2-2, by the way.
Oh wow.
All right. Famously, we're getting into the years where you guys might know the answer to.
The nitty gritty.
Famously, at Lockdown 2008, Samoa Joe won his first TNA title, defeating Kurt Angle. What was the stipulation of the match? And I don't mean cage match.
It
I thought
was
that was
like
true.
it was some kind of pseudo MMA match or something, wasn't it? I don't know what the exact rules were. No shoes submission match.
It's not right, Joe. Barry?
What's that? What was Joe's answer there?
A no shoes submission match.
Okay, I know it was. I know Joe is right. It was some kind of faux. I'm trying to remember if it was an actual faux MMA match or if it was just the presentation was UFC. Was it tap out or knockout only?
No, it wasn't.
No.
Actually, there was no MMA stipulation whatsoever. That was just how the match was.
Yeah.
The extra stipulation was that if Joe had lost, he would have had to retire.
I was assuming it was either that or I was trying to recall, was that the year they each had like 5 belts? They had the entire company's worth of belts on them, and they had a match for all of them, I believe.
Yeah, I don't think that was a Lockdown though.
No, I don't think so.
Barry,
Yo.
which former UFC star provided guest commentary for the match?
Oh, I remember. He was pretty good too. I'm just trying to remember who it was. I don't think it was Tito because he was there like years and years earlier. It wouldn't have been. I don't think it was Boss Rutan because that wouldn't have been any good.
I like Boss Rutan.
Would have been. I'm just thinking of the only other UFC guy who I definitely know has a MMA connection. I'm probably wrong. Is it? Oh fuck! No, I can't remember his name. Oh fuck! He goes to PWG. Josh Barnett.
It was not Josh Barnett, Barry. That's a good guess though. Joe, do you remember?
No, I did.
It was Frank Trigg.
Oh yeah, fuck.
Who had a match with AJ Styles.
No, that was not good. His commentary
Which
was
did
good.
have an MMA rules stipulation, I seem to recall. Which ended with a low blow. Joe.
Yeah.
Who defeated Sting to win the TNA title at Lockdown 2009?
Oh god, I know this.
Let me think. Lockdown 2009. Well, that. Oh god. AJ Styles.
AJ Styles would have been a good person to beat Sting in 2009. Barry, do you know the correct answer?
It was Mick Foley.
Yes. Mick Foley.
Who was it really though?
It was, in fact, Mick Foley. Crazy to think that only happened 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Barry.
Now they're dead.
I can only imagine Mick Foley, if that happened today, with somebody else, he'd be throwing a brick through his television.
Yeah, yeah.
This fat past. Okay, Barry. Eric Young, this is also Lockdown 2009, by the way.
Yeah.
Eric Young defeated which D-list celebrity in the Lockdown pre-show match?
Oh, I remember this. Danny Bonaducci.
It was Danny Bonaducci.
I believe he was on that short-lived Hulk Hogan Celebrity Championship Wrestling thing.
Yeah.
This is even prior to Hogan having a relationship with them, but they just made a connection and he got to do the pre-show and was never seen again, I believe.
Good.
Yeah.
Right, the score is 2-5 in favour of Harry. Come on, Joe, get back in here.
No.
At Lockdown 2010, which was the first lockdown after the big Monday Night War reboot of TNA,
Oh yeah.
the dinosaurs collided as Team Hogan took on Team Flair. I'm going to ask Joe now to name me the members of Team Hogan. I'm only looking for 3 of the 4, okay?
Oh god. Team Hogan
Why not? What?
against Team. Who is it? Against Team Flair.
Flair.
Team Flair, yeah.
Abyss.
Abyss is one.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's an obvious one. God. I want to say like the Nasty Boys, but I think, that would have been a good team though. Garrett Bischoff.
No. I think that's a bit early for Gareth Bischoff, wasn't it? Lockdown
I
2010?
think so, yeah.
Abyss is right, though.
Abyss. Oh, come on. Let's think.
I'm
Bobby
struggling.
Roode.
No.
Oh God, I don't know.
Barry, any idea?
Okay, Abyss. I can remember Rob Van Dam.
Rob Van Dam was one.
And I'm trying to remember who was Jeff Hardy.
Jeff Hardy was also one.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give you the point, though, because Joe did get the Abyss.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
The 4th member, weirdly enough, was Jeff Jarrett.
Oh, yeah.
Over to Barry. Can you give me the members of Team Flair? Again, I'm only looking for 3 of the 4.
Alright, Nigel McGuinness.
Yeah.
Or Desmond Wolfe. Bobby Roode.
Bobby Roode, yeah.
James Storm.
Yeah.
And, I only need 3, so yeah.
And can you give me the captain as well, out of interest?
Fuck. No, probably not. Was it Flair?
No, it was Sting.
Oh yeah, heel Sting, of course. Yes, heel Sting.
Yeah.
Oh, although ultimately it turned out he was babyface Sting, and he was just being discreet about it.
Hats.
Yes, raisins, no almonds. I've been telling you all along, Dixie. Jeez, what a load of shit.
Right, Joe. Lockdown 2011. Jeff Jarrett beat Kurt Angle in an ultra male rules match. You notice a lot of these questions are in wacky TNA rules match.
In a what match?
An ultra male rules match. What were the rules? I'll give you a clue here. 2 out of 3 falls.
Sorry, is that the answer?
No, I'm looking for the three fall
Oh, the 3
types.
falls. Okay.
Was it like something like pinfall submission cage match? Like the first.
Well,
first
all
one
three
was-
of them were cage match specifically
Oh,
because there's that lockdown.
yeah, but then the third one was like proper cage match. like with cage. They actually used the cage in the third one
In what way?
to climb on it.
To achieve what goal?
To get out of the cage.
Correct. Hey. I had to nearly push him over the line there, but I'll give it to him.
It's fine. It's fine.
The order was the first one was a submission match, the second one was pinfall, and the third one was escape the cage.
Yeah.
Right, Barry.
Yep.
Which three wrestlers who had main evented Lockdown 2010, which we had just given the members of, that's Team Flair against Team Hogan,
Okay.
also main evented in 2011?
2011. But main event, is it last match or say like top two matches?
Last match.
Okay, last match.
The 2011 match was also a lethal lockdown match, if that makes it any easier, which it was.
Yeah.
There was three wrestlers who were in both matches.
Beer Money.
Yeah, that's two of them.
That's two of them. Was Desmond Wolfe still around? I don't think so. Sting.
It wasn't Sting, Joe.
Shit.
Sorry, I didn't hear the question.
Which three guys who main evented the show we just talked about also main evented the following year's one?
Beer Money and...
What was it? A double main event?
No, it's the last match. The last match.
I don't know. Abyss.
It was Abyss.
Ah, he shouldn't. He shouldn't get a point for his lethargy.
Well, he's not going to get a point because he only gave one in the first one. You got
Oh, yeah.
No.
two.
Wait, what? There's another one.
What? No, there isn't.
What? Oh, I don't know what the question was. So I thought you said there was another main event. What?
No, never mind.
No, Joe, the question was which three wrestlers who had main evented Lockdown 2010, that was the
Right.
Hogan Flair,
Okay.
also main evented the 2011 show? And the answer was Beer Money and Abyss.
Okay.
Okay. Right.
What? It was a triple threat match.
No, it was it was a lethal lockdown match.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
They should have done a triple threat match.
With those three.
Yeah.
This is Barry's question, I think.
Right, go on.
No, hang on. No, it's Joe's
No,
question.
yeah, it's Joe's. It's Joe's.
Joe.
Right, I'm gonna get this one. Come on.
Right. This is Lockdown 2012.
Yes. Definitely.
Who were the captains for the lethal lockdown match in 2012?
I don't remember what the fuck it was. Oh, was it? Oh, I
don't know. This was before Aces and Eights, wasn't it? I think. Kurt Angle and Diamond Dallas Page.
Complete disregard for the quiz there. Barry?
what was the question again?
The captains for the lethal lockdown match 2012.
Alright, so, okay. I'm trying to remember if this was EV 2.0 and fourth gym.
2.0. EV 2.0.
Oi.
Fuck you! Fucking or truth over. Anyway, 2012. Oh, fuck. Garrett. No, Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan.
No. It was actually Eric Bischoff and Garrett Bischoff.
I stopped myself from saying that because I was thinking, was that the year Bischoff was banished? And I believe it was.
Well, here's your question. What was on the line in the match? I
Yeah.
need both sides of stipulation here.
Okay. If Bischoff lost, if Eric Bischoff lost, he was banished from TNA. If Garrett Bischoff lost, he had to get rid of his name, I believe it was.
Close. Had Team Eric won, Garrett Bischoff would have had to leave TNA. Okay?
Oh, sorry, I got it the wrong way around, did I?
And if Team Garrett won, Eric Bischoff would have to leave TNA and renounce his name.
Oh, well.
Which, well, he did leave TNA. I don't know if he renounced his name. I don't know if he's lived up to that stipulation.
Now it's just
Eric.
it's just And Hervey Productions.
It's just Eric. And we're on to the final year now. Joe, at last year's lockdown, which goober defeated Kurt Angle?
Oh, Briscoe.
Wes Briscoe.
Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah.
I remember that one.
What a rub. What a rub. And Barry, which big angle closed the show?
Bully Ray turning heel.
Bully Ray wins the title, reveals the Ace and Eights president. That's right. So apologies for the easy question to finish off there, but there was really nothing else to say about last year's lockdown. That's pretty much all I could get out of it. The winner is Barry, 4-7.
That's a good old quiz. Well done, Paul. I feel like Joe was making a fine effort there until he just sort of gave up. But, you know,
I feel like we've learned a lot. I think the turning point, no pun intended, was Mick Foley win the title. So he's killed off Joe's own title challenge there.
Yeah.
And,
I think this is TNA. I don't really know anything about TNA.
yeah.
well, you did. You knew the Electric Cage.
You knew the Electric Cage.
That's from
you knew,
Butchermania.
you knew Robert Backlund.
Bob Backlund.
That was a joke answer. But yeah.
And you got the Ultra Male rules.
Yeah.
Although
After you
I almost had to
prompted him
tell
and
you the
poked
answer,
him, yeah.
where there was, but Cage, but more Cage.
Yeah, no, but the Cage, what did they do with the Cage, man?
Did he do? He had a match with Desmond Wolfe that was like that, didn't he? It was.
Who?
No, that was an actual 2 out of 3 falls match with the Cage was only lowered. Oh no, yeah, you're right. No, yeah, it's the same.
Yeah, that was my rules, not the Ultra Male rules.
Yeah. Anyway,
That was the quiz anyway.
that was the quiz. Well done, Paul. Good stuff.
Sure.
And well done me for winning. Thank you. Right, I need to pee, so maybe one of you lads should read your emails.
Okay, I'll open mine up here. Get it all open, brother. Check my spam. Porn. Okay. First email comes from Scott the Boy McAvoy, which I'm going to start calling him now since it worked. Subject: TNA tickets and Brock's contract. He says, "Hello, Paul. First of all, I hope your mom is doing well. She's actually still in hospital, so not so well, but she should be okay, I think." He says, "I wonder what the difference between TNA's attendance and their paid attendance for their shows over in England and Ireland are." He says that TNA in the States might sell 100 tickets to a show, but they'll give away tickets at other smaller local shows in the area just to get people in. The WWE does ticket giveaways on radio shows when they're coming to town, but TNA can't get a radio show to even give away the tickets. Excuse me. Finally, I rewatched the contract signing between Brock and The Undertaker. And when Paul Heyman said that Brock was given an open contract to fight anyone at WrestleMania, why didn't he just write winner of the WWE title match and get his title shot that night? Or write Randy Orton and Batista? Have a good weekend, Scott. As far as TNA goes, I get a feeling like TNA sell enough tickets when they're... I can only speak for when they're in Ireland, of course. The show I went to seemed like... I think you can tell the difference when it's mostly comps.
Yeah.
A lot of the people that I went to seem to have a pretty good knowledge of TNA. I mean, this was in... What would it be? 2009?
I don't think they give away a lot of tickets. They wouldn't bother going to the expense of coming over here if they weren't actually going to sell some tickets.
That's true as well, yeah.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, when I was there was a lot of... they seemed to know what TNA was about.
Yeah.
They were doing the Shark Boy.
Yeah.
At least that was me with the Shark Boy hand.
There's a big fan of you. You're like that fan who goes to WWE events and does the Brock Lesnar thing. They're marking out for, look, a Shark Boy fan.
I changed my Twitter account to that.
Oh, God.
I could be a Twitter personality.
Yeah.
No, I get the feeling like they. I mean, they weren't doing huge arena shows. It was like the national arena, whatever that holds in Ireland. We spoke about that the other week.
The O2, I believe it's called.
No, TNA wouldn't do the O2.
I know, yeah, I'm joking because you said it was a hole.
And I don't know, when they go to England, I get the idea that they sell enough tickets. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know, it's really weird how poorly attended their shows in America are. It's really strange, given how many people watch their show on a weekly basis. I get the feeling that it's maybe something like in old folks' homes, they have a deal where they only ever have Spike TV on, and they can't change the channel.
What kind of old folks' home would agree to that? It's like, oh, it's fucking Bellator and Mansard.
Well, the old people, they don't know they can't even tell if the TV's on or not, probably. Just have someone talking to me. Oh.
Paul's making the old mistake again, confusing the mentally unwell and the old.
No. I used to volunteer at old folks' home. I'll have you know, Barry.
To do what?
Turn the TV over.
Get this. No, seriously, a lot of the people in these homes don't get visited at all. It's very sad. As far as not confusing the elderly with mental illness goes, I must have heard the same story about the woman who used to go around on her bicycle 100 times.
Wait, what? What story is
Because
that?
they're all demented, they're all senile.
God.
But they just want company. Just go and have a chat with them. Yeah. Give them, whatever, tea and biscuits or whatever. Yeah. As far as the contract signing between Brock and The Undertaker goes, I think you have to allow for a certain amount of creative license. Because if you try to apply real life logic to it, why couldn't Brock just write, I'll fight Linda McMahon for control of the company, or Vince McMahon, or whatever, you know what I mean? I think when you realize that the idea was just to find a creative way to get Brock fighting The Undertaker, I thought it was fine. I mean, yeah, you can say, well, why didn't he just write title shot onto it, given that the storyline seemed to have been heading for a Brock title shot. But then ultimately he could have written anything. He could have written, I'll fight Summer Rae or something for the Brock title, which will have to be created for the match, which will supersede the WWE title. So thank you, Scott the boy, McAvoy. Move on to the second email here. From Steve from the Bay Area. He says, subject Razzies. He says, now that the Razzies have been announced, what did you think was the worst movie of 2014? He must mean 2013, because 2014 has only been on 2 months. He says, I didn't see After Earth or Grown Ups 2, but they both seem like they earned their nominations. Now You See Me was probably the worst movie I saw last year. Surprised it didn't get more attention from the Razzies. Love the show, keep up the great work.
Which one was Now You See Me? I don't remember that one.
That was the Jesse Eisenberg Magicians one with Mark Ruffalo and Morgan Freeman, I think might have been it.
Yeah, it sounds like you should be up there, yeah.
The only problem with me is I don't, and it'll sound very pompous, but I don't see a lot of bad movies.
No, I mean, no. Just don't watch them. That's the best idea.
The worst movie I saw last year was definitely Kick-Ass 2, though.
Yeah, that'll be up there for me.
Ooh, mama, what a bad movie. Yeah. What else did I not like last year? Let me have a quick look at my IMDb here.
Texas Chainsaw 3D, I wouldn't say is up to much.
Too far off. Recently rated. See all my ratings. And I'll rate by US release date.
Let's see if I've rated anything on IMDb except Spring Breakers and The Last of Us. Nope, still those two. All right, well, they're both good.
Well, we have, in terms of negative reviews from last year, we have Thor: The Dark World.
Yep.
Which I gave a 4 out of 10.
Yeah.
August Osage County, which I gave a 3 out of 10.
Right.
Kick-Ass 2, which I gave a 1 out of 10. Man of Steel, which I gave a 4 out of 10.
Yeah. Shite also.
That is it. Yeah. They're all the negative ones I saw last year.
Yeah.
The year before that, we had In-Betweeners movie, which I gave a 3.
I really didn't think that was horrible. But then again, I like the In-Betweeners, so.
Three Stooges, which I gave a 6. Good movie. Yeah, I think last year was probably the the most bad movies I saw in a year.
Yeah.
For another bad one, I have to go back to Battle Los Angeles, which I gave a 4. That was in 2011.
Alrighty.
Yeah, so there you go. Kick-Ass 2 is definitely my worst of last year. Joe, what did you say the worst you saw last year was?
Oh god, I don't know. It's so good movies.
Okay. Well, there are both my emails. Thank you, boys.
I'll go. I got my emails open here in front of me. The first email is from Alex. He says, I'm not sure if you are a boy or a girl, Alex. I apologize if you...
Alex is a boy. I know Alex. He's got...
Oh, okay, fair enough, yeah. Because I know a Alex. I don't know if she listens, but, you know... I know a couple of Alexes of different genders. Anyway. No trans, though. Not yet. He says, hey, Barry. What is your favorite beer? Budweiser, the king of beers. Favorite... What are you smirking at? A damn fine beer it is. Anyway, favorite liquor, mixed drink, or shot? I'm not a big shot person. I really can't handle the taste at all. It just makes me gag. What are you... Here, listen, don't you be turning your nose up at my drinking habits, right? If I had to pick one, Jaeger bombs are pretty nice. Which is funny considering I don't like Red Bull typically, but it's whatever.
That should be someone's finishing move.
It should be, shouldn't it? You think someone on the Indies would be doing the Jaeger bomb?
Yeah.
But anyway, with St. Patrick's
Kurt
Day,
Angle, maybe.
with St. Patrick's Day approaching, I just got what you were saying. I was like, wait, what does he do that's Jaeger related? What? Other than actual Jaeger. So yeah, those are my two favorites, I guess, if I had to be pushed. With St. Patrick's Day approaching, any fun plans for the occasion? Yes, I'm going to stay inside and study because I have a lot of work to do and no money. Also, it's just like St. Patrick's Day is much like the Rag Week, as I discussed last week, which is now over. Just too many people out doing things, being drunk assholes. Not my scene. I mean, it is my scene in the sense that I do it, but I don't like to do it when other people are also doing it because I just can't. I don't like crowds. So I don't think I've done anything for St. Patrick's Day for the last few years. So yeah, thank you, Alex, as always. Remember my favorite drinks when I see you someday, pal. You can buy me one. Alrighty, thank you very much.
Are you a girl or a man? I don't know what's happening here.
Oh, banter here on CSP FM. Anyway, the next email is from Scott. He says, hello, Barry. Last podcast, you and the boys were talking about the fan who was upset that he was kicked out of the arena holding up signs and that he complained about his freedom of speech being denied. What he fails to realize is that freedom of speech only relates to what the government can deny you, not what a privately owned arena or company can. The arena made the decision to tell him to leave because he was causing a disturbance. He may have paid $100 for his seats, but so did everyone around him, and they shouldn't have their experience ruined because he wants to be an idiot. Indeed, Scott, indeed. Every time someone complains that a private company won't let them say what they want, I ask them if they'll let me come over to dinner sometime so I can yell in there how much of an idiot they are to their kids. Because if they won't, then they are preventing me from having my free speech. There's an old saying that the right to swing your fist ends at the other man's nose. The right,
very wise, yes.
And the right to scream and make an idiot of yourself ends when you are denying others the right to enjoy themselves. Hope you had a good week, Scott. Thank you very much, Scott. I agree with all of that. I think it's I think there's a lot of entitlement in that situation among the fans, a bit stuck up and a bit, a bit presumptuous. They think they can just get away with going to a place and causing a disturbance just because they paid. Americans, I think Americans have too much of a fascination with freedom. Do we need all that freedom, lads? I don't think so.
I want a gun, though.
We can do
that. Shoot a man, probably.
Well, this is going to be stowed away anyway by the FBI.
Well, they don't have jurisdiction over me.
I think you'll find they do, mate. I think
I won't stop them. I'll stop them.
We're getting a bit political here with the freedom of speech and the FBI jurisdiction. Get out of my face, man. Going a bit mad here. Let's take it back to nonsense. Anyway, thank you, Scott. Next email is from Steve.
Hey.
He says, what do you think is more peculiar? The lady who had plastic surgery so she can look like Barbie, or the creationist loons in Kentucky who are building a life-size Noah's Ark? I have not heard of the second one, but anyway, he goes on. The Barbie lady has upped her game in the last week by announcing that she's having her nipples removed, and that she's also a breatharian. Breatharians are, of course, the lunatics who are convinced they can live on nothing but the energy from sunlight, and not from basic essentials like food and water. You don't see many of them because they tend to die not too long after they join up. What the fuck is going on in America, man? What a weird place. Not to be outdone, the creationists have announced there will be dinosaurs on their Noah's Ark. I assume they're doing this to make scientists' head explode. Creationism is retarded, though. I would like to go to the Creationist Museum so I can get my picture taken with the statue of Jesus riding a Triceratops, which I have also not heard of.
That second one sounds to me like a publicity stunt, given that the Noah movie is just about to come out.
Hang on, yes, but is the Barbie lady also not a publicity stunt? Like,
I don't know why she got her nipples removed, because they're the best bits.
Yeah, but Barbie doesn't have them. Barbie has weird,
pointy sort of plastic.
Yeah, well, Barbie's an idiot then.
Yes, well, that's the point.
Yeah, that's her gimmick.
Also, if you ever watch any kind of, not that I make a habit of it, but if you ever watch any TV shows or films or direct-to-DVD nonsense, sort of Barbie fiction where she talks, I mean, they don't make any effort to have her not be an awful bimbo moron. You know, it's like, it's not just that she looks like one, it's that in all fiction that is officially licensed, she is a complete imbecile.
Does this mean that all Barbies are bottle-fed then?
What?
Because presumably there's no nipples in their world, so... Is Barbie even a mammal?
Wait, hang on, that's an interesting question.
Or is she marsupial?
But the other thing as well is, have you ever noticed how you never see a pregnant Barbie? Where the babies come from, eh?
Test tube babies.
Test tube babies, the dark, seedy underbelly of Barbies. Although I wonder if the real... Although, no, we'll never find out if the real-life Barbie gets pregnant, because nobody's going in there for love and money. In fact, she's probably had it covered it up and filled, so it's just nice and smooth and fucking impenetrable.
Well, you seem to know a lot about Barbie anatomy, Barry.
What? Well, I know that. Well, I'm just saying, mate.
Looking up the skirt, isn't he? Weird.
Well, most of them didn't come. Even if they had skirts, they had to take it off to see what's going on with there.
You're good, Barry. Yeah, you're digging a hole here. You're digging a hole here for yourself.
They didn't sell Nicholas Barbie.
Yeah, well, how do you know all this about it then?
Drunk Barbie, you from Mattel, stumbles out of the box without her knickers on. You had to go through the strenuous process of trying to get the pants off without tearing them, Paul.
Jaeger bombs sold separately.
Anyway, I think the Barbie lady is weirder because she's altered her body in a terrifying way. So there you go.
I mean, as far as body altering goes, I mean, to look like Barbie is such a weird ideal to have.
Well, not really. It's the ultimate ideal, isn't it? That's what all females want. No, I put my foot in it there. That's not true. That's not what all females want. That's what lots of females want. Not all of them.
But not taken literally. Not to have freaky face.
Not to actually be plastic toy.
Well, true. Okay, but then again, body morphing is always weird. Like that guy who wanted to be a cat, who is dead now, I believe.
Did he use up all his 9 lives?
Yeah, he died on about 6 operating tables.
God.
And then was hit by 3 vans.
What did the man who got his body morphed to look like a cat say when he was killed?
Meow.
Ow.
I was hoping it wasn't going to be meow, because that's awful. As in not funny. Anyway.
As opposed to awful as in what? Oh, cat man.
Anyway, yeah, thank you for your email, Steve. And I believe that's my last one. That was number 2. We haven't done our weekly feature. Barry checks his spam folder. Although those are the regular chaps emailing me. Let's see if we have any newbies or any people resurfacing like James Harrod. Let me see here. What's in my spam? We got Tumblr. We've got Spike Insider. I do not remember ever signing up for that. Twitch TV. Oxygen.ie. Some of these are actual spam. Okay, no more emails. Thank you very much to our ever dependable fans for sending me those emails. Thank you very much.
Well, my first email is from Scott McAvoy. Subject, transforming Michael Cole. He says, good evening, Joe. I don't know about you, but I like the fact that Michael Cole has slowly transformed himself from the heel announcer, who was always supporting the bad guys, into much more of an actual announcer describing the action. The more he lets Lawler and Bradshaw fill in the colour and just sticks to what is happening in the ring, the more I like him. Well, I would agree, because his heel character is really fucking annoying.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's just sort of competent. I don't like him that much, don't dislike him that much. You know, he's kind of there.
Compared to the other two, he's far and away the best.
Yeah, the other two are pretty bad. I do have a question for you and the lads. With the launch of the network, is NXT the new ECW? No.
Much better than ECW. Well, no.
That was EV 2.0.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah,
and the WWE version.
Mm.
And by ECW I mean after Vince bought it. A shorter show with a younger talent, kind of a place for the newer talent to get some exposure. And it seemed to have the weekly round of appearances of someone from the main roster. ECW had RVD and Big Show, but lots of younger up-and-coming guys as well. Yeah, but it is very similar to... Well, actually, no, it's not. I was going to say it was similar to ECW once they'd got rid of all the ECW-ness, but that had a lot of sort of established names and veterans in it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously NXT is all up-and-comers, but yeah. I don't know if it's that similar. It has some elements of it.
Yeah, I can see the similarity for sure.
Can you?
Yeah, I think it's quite similar. In fact, in that you've got like towards the closing days of ECW, just before we started the podcast, you've had guys like your Ezekiel Jackson, Zack Ryder, Yoshitatsu. It was basically the younger guys. There wasn't so much. Christian was there. That was basically it. I mean,
Trent Beretta and Kalen Croft.
Yeah. I mean, towards the end, it was pretty much. There was not very many veterans around. Christian's younger.
That's true.
I think of.
It really is a great example of how they view Christian, that he was like the one guy of note on ECW. Everyone else was miles below his level. He even then coming back from TNA all those
Swagger
years,
as well.
He should have been on like Raw or SmackDown, battling it out for the Intercontinental title. They had him on ECW feuding with Ezekiel Jackson and Zack Ryder and Yoshitatsu and all these other fucking nerds, who are either dead or gone or injured or whatever. It was so weird.
Wasn't Mark Henry there as well?
Yeah, Mark Henry in the he was gone too. Wasn't he gone? Oh no, you're right. He stayed until the end and then he showed up on Raw as a face.
Wasn't he being punished though? I think that's okay.
And William Regal was also on ECW, but then again, he did. They never had time for William Regal. But yeah, it's really interesting to see how WWE views Christian. Also today with the incessant "I'm an ugly fucker" routine, which is really weird.
Yeah. It's weird. Especially as I think he looks a bit like Triple H, in a way. It's not that different.
With jaundice from Canada.
Yeah.
Anyway.
My second email is from Steve. Subject, new app. A new app called Avoid Humans has been released. While it's only for Austin, Texas, the gist of the app is that it lets you know how crowded restaurants, bars, museums, etc. are before you go.
This sounds amazing.
It's a matter of time before the app is capable of running the service for other cities. Is this app a good thing? Or is this another step towards individual isolation? Personally, I don't mind it, but I'd prefer an app that alerted me to how many families with kids were around. I'd go out of my way to go to a different movie theatre or restaurant if there were too many kids there.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like a great app to me because I hate going anywhere busy.
Yeah.
I like to go late or when I know it's going to be deserted.
Mm-hmm.
So like the cinema or supermarket or whatever, because it just gets on my nerves. The crowds and the noise and the people and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, good app.
That's actually really. I wonder how is it doing that? Is it like measuring other people that have the app, or is it like how can the phone tell how many people's in a restaurant? That's weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
But if it works, that'd be awesome. I would totally get that. Yeah.
Yep. That's my emails.
Steve also tweeted us because I did a joke tweet saying you can keep in touch with the show by using the hashtag such and such. I was like, oh, we're not doing a live show. And he did send a tweet saying we should be discussing daylight savings and how lame it is. That's not for another week for us, Steve. So basically, we get the benefit of Raw and Impact being an hour earlier tonight. or lockdown, because
Like that makes a difference.
like that. Yes, I'm gonna watch it anyway. Yeah,
I will not be watching it an hour earlier.
I probably will watch it just because I don't have my usual 9 o'clock start at college tomorrow, so like, fuck it, I'll stay up. I'll just stay up and watch, because if I don't watch Lockdown live, not a hope I'm gonna have time to watch it during the week. So, because I haven't watched Impact this week or last week, so. So yeah, I'll check it out tonight. But anyway, yes, Steve, it's quite annoying, but whatever.
Is it annoying?
Yes.
Notice here on.
It's less annoying.
WrestlingObserver.com.
It's less annoying in the era of phones doing it automatically because of internet. That is true.
Dave Meltzer just wrote an update saying, Brian and I will be back tonight covering TNA Impact.
Yeah.
Imagine if they did, imagine if tonight would be covering Raw on the day of WrestleMania or something.
Well, the key difference there is it's just age of WrestleMania. I forgot there was an Impact.
Nor is it even WWE.
Yeah, I forgot there was an Impact. Fucking Lockdown tonight until someone tweeted, by the way, it's on earlier because of daylight savings. I was like, it's on tonight.
Yeah. Well, it's because their last Impact that they taped was like 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thanks for the emails as always, friends of the show. We greatly appreciate it.
Well done, lads.
I have the news here ready to go if anyone wants me to list those.
I'd love to hear some news. What's
Go on.
going on?
Time for some news. So first of all, Kurt Angle's not going to be even on Lockdown because his knees are injured.
Yeah, I didn't hear that but I did see on Twitter earlier, like, EC3 issues an open challenge, and I was like, what? He's facing Kurt Angle. What's happening? So what? He's hurt, I guess, after denying he was hurt.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, he had a surgery the other day apparently for it's either an MCL or an ACL.
I think it's both, and one of them is gone. He doesn't have an ACL anymore.
What did he do with it?
It's worn away in terrifying fashion, a la Terry Funk.
Oh dear. Well, in that case, expect Kurt Angle to make an appearance all bandaged up at the end of the EC3 match.
Yeah, expect him to hobble out and then just moonsault
with a chair
onto
on fire or something.
Yeah, moonsault onto EC3 with a flaming chair off the top of the cage.
Yeah.
Land on his head and then tweet, "I'm fine, everyone. It's okay. See you tomorrow for Impact or Raw. Maybe I'll be at Raw. Who knows?"
Can we then get Charlie Haas jumping on a trampoline?
I don't get that reference at all.
I'm not booked, Kurt.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, so in other news, Buck Zumhofe. We spoke about him a few months ago because he was the guy who was convicted of many disturbing sexual assaults.
Yeah.
We then also pointed out how his name is quite close to Fuck Bumhole.
I do not remember this at all, and I would. Was I? First of all, I don't remember us ever discussing him previously.
We did. I remember the Fuck Bumhole.
Oh God!
I must have been gone making tea or something because I would not have stood for this.
So anyway, he was found guilty this week,
And then he ran away when he was found guilty. He tried to escape.
In New Lockdown this week, it was a court escape match.
Yeah.
The next trial is going to be inside a steel cage. Stop.
Fuck. Anyway, he got to get like a life sentence, full 2 life sentences or some shit. He got something crazy.
I don't know if I don't think he's been sentenced yet, even actually.
He's found guilty.
Just found guilty so far. Apparently, one thing I read somewhere was like, they don't take kindly to child molesters in prison, which, Jesus.
Or anywhere.
Or other places, yeah.
Yeah, apparently child molesters are pretty low down on the totem pole of prison people. Prisoners.
All the non-slaughterers are just like, oh, that fucking scum.
Who do you think would be top of that then? What's the crime that you would be? I mean, there's probably got to be a pretty good balance of.
Yeah, but what's this weird sense of morality that prisoners have? Also, I love when people on the outside are like, well, he's gonna get what's coming to him in prison. It's like, are these murderers and psychopaths in prison? Are they like anti-heroes to you because they're gonna this pedophile?
Yeah.
People are so weird. Anyway, I assume the top of the totem pole. I mean, who's the top of the totem pole? Fucking Robin Hood. He stole from evil bankers and gave the money to our boys overseas. RT, if you agree. You know, or he stole money from foreigners claiming benefits and gave it to nurses. who making sure to only give it to the white ones, not the ones who came over and stole jobs. When he got caught in the system, sent him down, man, and now he's beating up pedos. Such a hero.
Steal from footballers, give to the poor.
That would be no. I wanted to make a superhero film that really pandered to the masses. It'd be a guy who stole from footballers and gave it to soldiers.
Well, someone who Robin Hood can steal from is Vince McMahon, because apparently he's a billionaire again.
We're in the money. You heard the monkey make the
move. First time in a few years, he's back on the billionaires list. Apparently.
His WWE stock has trebled in the last few monts. For some reason.
Well, the network, you know?
Well, yeah. All those big dollars they're getting from the network.
And the upcoming TV rights. Renegotiation. We have some ins and outs. And I'm not talking about Buff Bagwell's new gigolo job. Oh! Apparently attending an upcoming WWE tryout camp will be ACH.
Nice.
Kevin Steen. And Roderick Strong.
Julio.
Who, I don't think any of them will be signed, sadly.
Not even ACH? He's small.
That's the problem, because they had... The only thing that makes this off is the recent American Wolves tryout. I mean, honestly, if the American Wolves don't get signed up, what chance does Roderick Strong have?
Well, Roderick Strong is a different...
He's even more bland than those two.
He's even more bland and less good. I mean, he's good, but he's less good, you know.
Kevin Steen, if he... honestly, I think we had got an email about this from Scott months ago.
They put you... First and foremost, they put you through your paces conditioning-wise at those things, and he's just not gonna make it.
If he shows up all fat...
Well, he's not going to take it off and leave it at home, Paul.
No, but I mean... Surely, if he was serious about going for a WWE tryout, it's something like he would have to be preparing for like 2 or 3 months in advance to get fit into shape.
Well, he tweeted a while ago that he was like at a gym. And someone asked him, "What do you do at the gym?" He's like, "Stand around a lot." But funny thing about, I think ACH is awesome. I just watched. I'm reviewing some PWG for a forthcoming FSM. I'm getting all caught up, and I watched ACH. And he's really, really exciting high flyer, really charismatic. But it's like Ricochet was at the last WWE tryout, and they said no to him because he got the same thing the Wolves got, which is we have enough people who are small who do what you do. And
yeah, I think the thing as well is
if you're not taking Ricochet, you're not taking ACH. You know,
I think being a really good flippy do guy isn't enough anymore. I think.
Yeah.
They have guys like Samurai Del Sol, who's not even on NXT TV. Never mind being bumped up to proper TV. You have Pac, who's already there, whatever his name is now.
Yeah.
He's the NXT champ now, by the way.
Yeah.
You have Sami Zayn, who's still on NXT. I mean, I think there's less emphasis being put on how good you are in the ring again. And not so much as less emphasis being put on it, but I think
more total package.
Guys who have that, but also have because they have a lot of those guys now.
It's weird. I mean, you know, we'll see.
Happily, someone who was signed up apparently was internet darling Drake Younger.
Yeah, that was an interesting pick because I would not have forecast that, especially a couple of years ago when he was a primarily deathmatch guy and also a bit of a pudgy one back in the day as well.
The day he decided to stop doing deathmatches is turning out probably to be the best decision he ever made.
Yeah. He's had a lot of really good matches in PWG. He's made a name for himself. He has an amazing reputation as a positive influence and a guy who's cleaned himself up and made something out of his life. And he's a family man and he's just no one has anything bad to say about him. So a lot of people were very happy, including myself, to see him get that opportunity. So that's really cool. Very interested to see what he would do. And
of course, Sami Callinan is still. Speaking of Drake Younger, Sami Callinan's still in NXT, isn't he?
I think at the tapings after the Arrival show he debuted. and he's going to be on TV soon. I don't know though. I can't remember. I definitely saw there was definitely a picture of him in the NXT arena doing something. So I'm not sure, but we'll see. Yeah, that'll be interesting. Interesting few weeks coming up for that show.
Brooke Tessmacher is apparently gone from TNA. Although this was denied then by Dixie Carter. She
on Twitter, yeah.
She deleted her Twitter and Facebook, and she updated. She put a picture on her Instagram saying things happen for a reason or something like that.
Probably fed up of all the weirdos who message her on Twitter and Facebook.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, call me crazy, but you know.
Yeah, she's not been on TNA as far as I understand in quite a while anyway, since the Ace and Eights thing died out. I think she made 1 or 2 appearances, but
yeah,
it's a shame. She got really good.
Yeah, I mean, Bully Ray's current shitty character doesn't require a woman, you know. So
it only requires him speaking about Raw every Monday on Twitter.
Oh, jeez!
Does someone in TNA not say?
Stop doing that, please.
I mean, I give TNA too much credit here, obviously.
They probably tell him to do it. They think it's great. Calling out, not only CM Punk. I think didn't he say something about Aaron Paul come do Impact or some shit like that? I can't remember.
God.
Imagine that.
I hope not.
I mean, that would be the definition of a celebrity coming in and just being embarrassingly more over than all of your top stars. You know, but yeah, I hate that stuff. But yeah.
We spoke briefly about Buff Bagwell being a gigolo now. That's his job.
I haven't read anything to do with that.
He's on that show, Gigolos. It's a TV show in America.
Oh.
It's a reality show about gigolos, and he's on it. And he comes off as... don't know what he comes off as. He's like something from...
A gigolo?
No, not even.
Do you think women get calls from his mom going, look, he can't come in today, he's really down? You're just gonna have to look after yourself, I think.
I get the feeling like he's one of these guys who's still living in the 80s, because he's still got that weird beard and hair. He looks exactly like he did in the 90s.
Yeah,
but older.
Yeah,
it's weird. There's a new WWE DVD release that's coming out that actually does interest me. I know it's weird for me to say that. It's called WWE After the Show.
Mm-hmm.
And it's apparently going to be a compilation of all those segments after Raw goes off the air.
Yeah.
Where they just, Chris Jericho and Steve Austin have a wacky segment between them.
Yeah.
I think that'd be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. There's been some good ones that I've heard about there. It's like, I haven't seen the actual listing of what's on there, but some interesting stuff happens in those bits, and the trailer I saw for it looks good. So yeah, I don't know. They also have the best of WWE music DVD coming out, which is
they made one of those before, and I nearly bought it.
But it's like I think it's the top 25 songs, and there's also documentary bits about talking to Jim Johnson. If they just did a Jim Johnson documentary without a wacky list, I'd probably be more interested. But I can't believe there's just a DVD out with Fandango on the cover of it. Fandango and a tiger. The cover of it.
Like I said, they made a best of the videos before, and that didn't even have documentary bit. It was just videos.
It was just the Titantron videos. Yeah.
This was, I guess, before YouTube and all that. I think this was in like 2002 or something.
Yeah, 2002, I think. Yeah. That's weird.
But it's just weird with the advent of YouTube now that they can still bring out a best of the music or best of the videos compilation, because it's all out there.
Yeah. And
then the final news story of the week, a bit of a sad one. That poor lad in Scotland who broke his neck off the Styles clash.
Yeah.
Stop tucking your head for Styles clashes. And in maybe an unintentional but a great piece of bad taste, WWE updated, put on their YouTube this week, the 30-second Faith Breaker compilation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Weird timing.
It's funny because I don't recall Michelle McCool ever hurting anyone with that.
Oh, never.
Which is unusual. But he broke his neck, but he's not paralyzed, and he's already moving around and stuff. He went to a show. He didn't wrestle, but he went to a show recently and cut a promo, and so everyone's like, "Oh, that's good. He's not, he is not dead, and he will be fine eventually."
Yeah, it's weird how many people tuck their head for that move, though.
Well, it's instinct, isn't it?
I know. It's just a weird one because it doesn't seem like that dangerous a move, but it's had a few victims.
One or two, yeah.
Stevie Richards, I remember that time. All squashed up like an accordion. I think that might have been at work though. That one.
I'm not sure.
Cesarean took that one out. Well.
Eve Torres is getting married soon to Henry Gracie.
Well, Stacey Keebler got married.
To who? Not to George Clooney, I assume.
Some goober, yeah.
Some guy. Yeah, well, that's less interesting. But yeah, lots of pictures of Eve that are... What's that thing they have? Bridal shower? No, bachelorette party. Yeah. She's looking well. She's one of the many women who looks well. Well, she always looked well, but she's looking very well following her WWE departure. Mm-hmm. Congratulations. Congratulations to her, and congratulations to Miss Keebler, or Mrs. Keebler now, or Mrs. Goober.
Whatever her name is.
Mrs. Goober and Mrs. Marie Torres Gracie.
Oh, I'm on her Instagram now.
Mm-hmm.
And she looking good. She a good looking lady.
You might even say she looks good to me.
I would, but I don't want it.
She's got everything you want. She's got everything you need, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, it's enough girly talk about who's getting married and shit. Let's talk about rap. I talk banter hour on CSP.
Yeah, so, I mean, for the whole year, wrestling fans say, it'll be alright. WrestleMania season's coming. It'll be alright. WrestleMania season's coming.
When was the last?
And this Raw happened.
Yeah. When was the last good WrestleMania?
24?
26 was alright.
Not really.
Yeah. John Cena, Batista, and Undertaker.
Right, Vince.
Oh. Was that on 26 or 25?
That's 26.
Yeah.
25 was match of Jeff Hardy and Jericho versus the old people. But yeah, I feel like a very long time since we've had a really great WrestleMania. Anyway.
So this show was notable because CM Punk wasn't on it.
Yes.
Damn it, Meltzer.
Shakes fist at the world.
Yeah.
Oh, we forgot some news. Billy Robinson died.
Who?
I don't know.
Alright, so we didn't.
No, he did die. But yeah.
I meant to read up on it, but I just didn't.
Do you know, legitimately, right? It's sad when someone dies.
Yes.
Especially someone who's as highly regarded as Billy Robinson. But I don't need to hear a 25-minute discussion on a podcast about a fella I've never heard of. So I skipped it so quick.
The idea is that maybe you would fucking learn.
Yeah, I can't be bothered. He's dead. Don't need to know anymore.
It's too late now.
Yeah.
Too late. Why did you wait till now? Why not do one sort of randomly when he's a 75-year-old? Just tell me about him, so I'll know to care when he dies. God.
Yeah.
Podcasters. Ugh. I listened to some of Jericho's one this week.
Oh yeah.
It's alright. He's got a good radio voice. It'd be like Steve Austin, though. I was going to have to manually stop all those downloads where he interviews drummers and other people I don't care about.
Yeah. I've not listened to a Steve Austin one in
Yonks.
months and months and months.
Yeah. Anyway, Raw. Raw opened with CM Punk's music.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that? That's not CM Punk's music.
What?
Lucky man.
Beautiful people. The beautiful people.
Yeah, and then he didn't come out within 3 seconds, so you knew it wasn't really him.
Yeah, you knew. When they started panning the camera to different angles, you're like, yeah, okay.
It was a bit like during the Edge and Lita wedding when they played the Matt Hardy music. And it just kept playing. It just kept playing. That's a bit what this was like.
Yeah.
I think they let it go too long though. I think the effect was lost when it took 8 minutes before Paul Heyman waddled out.
Remember when Shawn Michaels played Bret Hart's music in Canada in like 2006, 2005 after
2005,
after the Hogan match? Yeah, great. Because he hadn't been in the company for like 7 years, no, fucking 10 years at that point.
That was great, and Shawn Michaels' face was great as well.
Yeah. Paul Heyman eventually sauntered down to the ring, ponytailless, thank God. Finally let that die.
He sat cross-legged in the ring like a little Buddha.
A little sweaty Philadelphia Buddha. And basically, for a long story short, this was them kind of officially acknowledging he's gone and saying he's gone, but not burying him while they do it. They kind of made him out to be a big baby face, and they then swiftly moved on with Brock Lesnar, and that was other than the crowd, that was it for CM Punk reference. Oh no, sorry, John Cena also referenced him later, but yes, this was basically it, and that's wasn't there, and you would have to assume now that he's not going to be there anytime soon.
I watched A Star Is Burns yesterday, which is a Simpsons episode featuring John Lovitz playing the critic, Jay Sherman.
Yeah.
He's got exactly the same proportions as Paul Heyman, physically. Really short limbs, big head. I also want to say, I think A Star Is Burns is maybe the best Simpsons episode ever.
No.
It's got, these appear to be loafers. It's got...
It's very controversial. I don't believe it's...
Let's get silly.
I believe it's not endorsed by Matt Groening.
It's got... I don't give a shit what Matt Groening thinks.
The thing is, it's a crossover episode with the so-called The Critic, but I've never...
Who earns...
At the time, I'd never heard of The Critic, so I had no idea it was a crossover.
Well, still to this day, no one's ever heard of The Critic.
Well,
I know.
Exactly.
That's the thing, right?
It's got Boo Earns. It's got Man Getting Hit in the Groin with Football. It's got, legitimately, 8 of those classic Simpsons references are all in this one episode.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's like watching a best of.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's something about... Even when I was watching it...
Let's just say it moved me to a bigger house!
But as I was watching it, I was even thinking that character reminded me a lot of Paul Heyman for some reason. It just physically looked like him.
Yeah, I can see that, yeah.
Maybe not sweaty or Buddha-like.
Mm.
But
Small.
Little short legs. There's a fun... Actually, one thing I gotta say is Paul Heyman, he's pretty flexible. He could cross that leg pretty high up.
We need a segment where Paul Heyman and Alexander Rusev have a segment, and Paul says, "Hey, your shoes are untied," and Alexander Rusev bends over and goes, "On closer inspection, I've taped my feet."
Is he having a no shoe submission match with Kurt Angle?
Maybe.
That's what's
More ideas being stolen by WWE. Yeah. So anyway, then Brock Lesnar came out and just annihilated a fan with a monitor.
He threw it over the ring.
Yeah, and it bounced on the floor and went into some lady's face. I don't know how legitimate the picture is of the black eye, but I saw from fan footage on the new Botchamania that it did in fact hit a person. It did hit a person. So, but I've heard no significant uproar from that. So you'd think in America, of all places, that they'd be quick to hop on that for a lawsuit. Unless WWE, before the broadcast was even over, had already gotten to her and said, free tickets for a year, your kid gets to meet Fandango and Alexander Rusev. Imagine that, sue him extra hard.
Yeah. Go here. All I was thinking was, they offer this woman, say it's a woman, whatever, that their kid can meet the WWE superstars, and it's the equivalent of it being Barney dresses Krusty the Clown at Camp Krusty. Yeah, Bart, I am Crunchie the Clown. Someone in whatever Fandango's pants to some randomer.
I'll be in the car, dudes.
And then Mark Henry came out for his weekly Get Destroyed by Brock Lesnar segment.
Yeah, what? Oh, Mark Henry's a babyface, everyone, and he just doesn't learn his lesson.
The one thing I didn't like here is when they had Lesnar attack Mark Henry, and he backed away from him and then tried to do a jumping attack on him from the step.
Yeah.
And he just got knocked down like a child. I don't know why they bothered doing that, because what was the point of that?
Yeah,
It made Lesnar look like an idiot.
Poor Mark Henry's 45 and always injured, and they made him get F5'd through a table, which is probably sore at the very least.
Well, the last time they had him get F5 just on the floor.
Which is, yeah, exactly. Jeez. Tell you what, that Undertaker match is going to be something. That's going to be...
You might throw him into the crowd.
That might be the last... that might be the last Undertaker match, if not ever, maybe for a couple of years. He's already at the stage where he can only do a match a year,
Yeah. It'll be a bit like Mice and Men, where Lenny just strokes that person's dress just too strong and kills them. I think that'll happen with Brock one of these days. He'll F5 the Undertaker just too hard.
Undertaker wasn't on the show, was he?
No, I don't know why. Apparently Undertaker's going to have a limited, an already limited run-in in terms of appearances.
It was that chokeslam he gave to Brock Lesnar. He tore his hip. It's like, oh, gotta take 6 months off.
Oh god! Yeah, apparently he's only going to make like 2 or 3 appearances leading up to WrestleMania, and this wasn't one of them.
Yeah.
Which made all the weirder having Brock on, just randomly beating up Mark Henry.
Well, their logic was they wanted to stack the show so that the crowd wouldn't turn on it.
Well, have Undertaker on it then. Because, as we all remember, Barry, the Undertaker is immortal and should be respected. He's so immortal, he didn't bother going.
Yeah.
I thought Hulk Hogan was immortal.
He was also not on the show, by the way. It's become very evident to me that he is not going to be anything close to what he was in TNA, and they have just signed him for like promotional reasons for the network and stuff.
Yeah.
Like if they're doing something with Bryan at Mania, he'll probably be the one to add him to the title match. He'll maybe beat up Bad News Barrett, and like that'll be it. We're not going to see him do anything at all, really.
Yeah.
Which is good. I mean, fine. I don't need him to do anything other than come out and do one bad promo every couple of weeks where he says the wrong name or whatever.
WWE Universe.
Fandango is the right gay.
The right. Wait a minute, brother. Oh, Hulky.
On the Total Divas Network. On E.
Oh god. So what else happened? The Usos won the tag titles
Oh yeah, that was cool.
from the old Outlaws.
Yeah. The middle-aged outlaws. I like the
In what
Usos.
way are they outlaws?
They're heels.
Evasion. Something like that.
Road Dogg doesn't obey the dress code when he attends the agents meeting.
Got the big tattoo on his head.
But yeah, this is a good match. Good pop. I like the Usos. Good for them.
Yeah, they were surprisingly over. They got a really big pop at the end.
Well, they have good matches every week, you know, so...
Yeah. I mean, I still have that
them.
idea in my head that they're kind of goobers because they're pushed that way for so long. I'm
Yeah.
only now sort of training myself to not think of them that way. But it was weird how generally accepted they were here. It was cool.
Good for them.
I still like their theme songs, but I think it's pretty cool. Not the bit where they come out and shout at the start of it. That's a bit... But the actual song sounds pretty cool.
I hope they have a good match, or I hope they get a match at WrestleMania.
Ironically, I liked when they were those yuppie...
We're not Samoans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that gimmick when they showed up.
They had better too. It was really generic hip hop music. It was great.
Yeah.
That's when Tamina was still with them, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, congrats to them. Not really sure what it feels like. There's a big disparity between the main event matches, which we know are going to happen, and the loser matches where we don't know anything is going to happen. Feels like a bunch of guys are just going to be thrown on the card doing nothing. What the fuck's Alberto Del Rio going to do? Face the Miz?
What's Ziggler going to do? What's Christian going to do?
Because they're not going to do Money in the Bank, I don't think. So
they can do Money, where the winner of an 18-man ladder match gets a check.
Yeah.
Why not?
Maybe they'll maybe Hogan will be the babyface authority against Brad Maddox, and they'll assemble a team. And
Brad Maddox hasn't been on Raw for about...
Oh yeah. Well, whatever. Who cares? Anyway, fuck those guys. Fuck the mid card.
I forgot he was even a thing.
Yeah, he's around.
Until this Monday's Raw, where they're like, he announced something. It was like, well, we didn't see him.
What else happened on Raw?
Well, we had the Shield Wyatt match.
Oh, that match was so good.
Just tremendous.
It was like a condensed version of the pay-per-view match. Which was really
I prefer the pay-per-view match. I saw some people say that they prefer this match, which is fine because this one is a bit crazier.
Yeah, and it was you know they
told a better story.
They cut it down like the pay-per-view match was like 25 minutes. This one was like maybe 15, I think.
Yeah.
So they cut out a lot of the meandering. But yeah, it was really good. Really, really good.
Yeah.
And the finish was the long-awaited... Well, not the official imploding of the Shield, but the long-awaited, the shades of Mike Knox and Kelly at December to Dismember. Seth Rollins hopped off the apron when one of them was going for the tag. Dean Ambrose, I believe. That was actually a really cool setup because earlier in the match, like very early in the match, Rollins was going for the tag, and Ambrose jumped off the apron to attack one of the Wyatts, and then Reigns jumped off the apron to go and grab Ambrose and say, "What the fuck are you doing? We need to be waiting at the corner." And sure enough, Seth was at the corner looking for the tag, and neither of them were there. And then later on, he fucked off because he said he was annoyed. And sure enough, the Wyatts won. Really great stuff. Awesome teams. I think on SmackDown they did something where they kind of slapped the shit out of each other, and then they were unified. They ended it unified. But they've been doing that for ages now. The thing where they fight and then they say, "No, we're together. We'll overcome." So yeah, we'll see. I wonder when the official big split is going to happen. I wonder when that is. Maybe Mania.
Yeah, they could do a 6-man. Get 3 of those goobers that don't have anything to do to wrestle them, but make it all about the Shield.
Yeah.
This is one where I keep getting the spots mixed up between this match and the pay-per-view match. This was the one where Rollins and Starr was just doing wacky flips out one side, running, do a flip out the other side.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that was great.
Was this one where Roman Reigns did the spear over the desk?
Yeah, and then he
Took
him and Rowan both went over, and then he regained his composure, and then Harper came out and dived on top of him.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
Yeah.
I really wish they'd kept these guys for WrestleMania. What a match that would have been. Imagine that at WrestleMania. The crowd would be going fucking mad.
Yeah, that would be really good, yeah.
I feel like it was wasted on Elimination Chamber a bit.
Mm-hmm. Well, there you go.
Yeah. Oh, well.
There's a lot of stuff I skipped on this show because it was,
I tell you what. Emma. I'm into it.
Why?
I don't know. I just I like doing the dance. I like the song.
Well, yeah, it's it's not a bad song and it's not a bad dance, but I'm not into Santino, and I'm not into Michael Cole laughing, and I'm not into Michael Cole saying she likes to dance because it makes her happy.
Yeah,
it's like
well,
fucking Michael Patridge there on commentary.
Another brother update. This is the same guy who 1 month ago would laugh me out of the building for enjoying a Daniel Bryan John Cena match. It's the same man who's now playing the Emma music on his phone and dancing around the house.
God.
Sounds insufferable, but...
Well, I'm doing it as well, so...
Oh, God, that house must just be hell. Actual hell.
Right, one of your mums in hospital. I might have get away from it.
I accidentally poked her in the eye doing the Emma dance just a little bit too happily.
Oh, fuck.
I'm into the Emma thing. I think she's a good-looking lady as well.
But she is, but, there's lots of them.
Yeah. It's alright.
Boobs aren't too big, right? So she's good. Great dancer as well.
Graceful when she gets into the ring. JBL called her a spastic this week, I'm pretty sure.
Well, that's allowed in America, apparently.
Is this?
Yeah.
Because like she was doing that stupid entrance where she gets into the ring skinning the cat, but she does it real bad. And Michael Cole was like, she's graceful, and he was like, she's spastic.
Yeah. There was a controversy in one of the Mario Party games because one of the games was called Spastic.
Yeah.
Or something. And it was censored in the UK release. They changed the name to something else.
Fucking Luigi, fucking shit up again.
Yeah.
Stupid year, Luigi.
I like Emma.
Yeah.
Summer's alright, so.
Well, Summer, yeah, I prefer Summer to Emma.
No. I'm an Emma man.
Yeah,
I'm an M-man.
Anyway. Fandango, by the way, was interviewed by the great Eamon Holmes this week.
Oh, yeah?
I didn't watch it, though.
No, I'm not.
Very much missed out on my generation's Frost Nixon.
There was a video that Everton put up on their YouTube, the official Everton FC YouTube, about Fandango visiting the stadium. And it hard cuts from a shot outside of him standing outside the arena to a man with a clipboard inside going, "Okay, Mr. Fandango, would you like to sign here? Like to sign in?" And the camera pans across as Fandango stood at like the reception. He goes, no. It's fun! So weird, him and this.
Is he actually a fan of them, or is it just because they were the only stadium that would play his song during that?
Yeah, it sort of developed from there. But he was going around in an Everton jersey. And
because at the peak of people trying to get that song up the charts, I believe they were the only ones that buckled. Actually, initially they didn't, but eventually they buckled to the pressure to play it at halftime. I imagine there's a bunch of very confused Everton fans. I tried to buy that song when that was happening because I thought it was a cute idea, but I couldn't. Even though I was in the UK at the time, I couldn't buy the stuff from the UK store for whatever reason. So,
well, that's linked to whatever your card you're using.
Yeah, my card. Yeah. Oh well.
He knew some of the players. He knew about Tim Howard, of course, the American goalkeeper, and Lukaku, Romelu Lukaku, the striker.
Well, I imagine WWE was like, don't embarrass yourself, like look up some stuff, or maybe he does care. I don't know.
Sheamus beat Christian on the show as well.
Yeah, I like both guys, but come on.
Aaron Paul was on there with Dolph Ziggler.
That was alright.
Who beat Del Rio, weirdly enough.
With Aaron Paul's distraction,
yeah. Jumping up and down the announce table.
He did okay on commentary. He didn't embarrass himself or anything, but I'm not sure if he's actually
I got the
arrested.
feeling like he didn't know a lot of what was going on, though. That was the only thing.
Yeah. He did. Yeah, like he commentated a 2-second match. Didn't say anything other than "Whoa, it's great to be here. Hey, I played you, JBL. You're not very good. I always lost." That was fine. He's promoting a movie that looks questionable, but probably, there you go, right there. There's a video game movie that's probably going to be awesome.
Oh.
I don't think it looks very good.
But did you know that there's no green screen? It's all
they fucking mention every time.
No, but it's not. There's no green screen at all.
Mm.
It's all real fake stunts instead of computer fake shit.
Yep.
Actually, from looking at the trailer, that film actually looks like a perfectly fine action romp. The only problem I had with it is that Aaron Paul seems to be like trying to play kind of stony-faced Vin Diesel serious man or something. Like he's trying to be a cool action lead as opposed to wacky, lovable Aaron Paul. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, it doesn't look bad. I might check it out.
Well, the thing is, they're marketing it in a sort of like a drive kind of movie. They're with the orchestral, like nearly the opera singing during the trailer. But it's obviously a Fast and Furious clone.
This really feels like something that someone had a script laying around and the studio just happens to, we got this video game license for this game that people like. Because ostensibly there is no consistent thread through Need for Speed. Nothing will make it a Need for Speed movie.
I feel like Need for Speed hasn't even been relevant since like Need for Speed Underground.
Oh God, no.
When did that come out? Like 2006 or something?
Well, it's been a lot, way before that, because this
2003.
Was 2003. They were like middle of the PS2 generation. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean the new ones did do okay because they're made by the Burnout people now. So
yeah, I quite like Burnout Paradise.
Yeah, so I know it's still kind of relevant, but it's not the powerhouse it once was.
All right.
Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, so that movie's out whenever. Dolph Ziggler did get a win over Alberto Del Rio, whose fortunes continue to sink. He's one of the many people who is allegedly leaving soon. His contract's coming due. Yeah, so he's always threatening to leave, as we discussed. So, yeah, there you go. Although Christian beat Ziggler on SmackDown, so it's not like Ziggler's going anywhere.
Oh dear. And then they're down Bryan against Batista,
which they claimed was the first time ever, which was not true, but whatever.
Yeah, they did that in 2010.
Yeah, it was good, and it was okay here. I would tell you what, this is kind of a moment where I was like, oh, Batista's not very good, because this is like the least exciting Daniel Bryan match I've seen in like a fucking year.
Mm-hmm.
Since no, that's not true actually, because his ones with Kane were also quite shitty. But like, if you're in a class with Kane in terms of people who can't have a great match with Daniel Bryan, then you're having problems. But it wasn't bad. It was better than anything else he's done since he's been back. And it went to a big non-finish because there was run-ins from Kane and the Authority, and Bryan kicked Triple H, and Batista then laid out Bryan. There was a schmoz involving Orton. So basically, they're still saying that it's Orton versus Batista is one match, and Triple H versus Bryan is another match. But
makes no sense.
Yeah, but you're getting a little bit of a whiff of Batista doing Triple H's bidding, and those two things did intertwine in that main event, which was interesting. I think they're going to go with the beat Triple H and then get put in the three-way thing, get put in the title match rather, and become a three-way.
The thing is, though, if they do it that way, are they going to announce beforehand that that's going to be the case? If he beats Triple H, that he goes in the title match, or would it be something they announce on the show? Because if that's the case, then you're going into WrestleMania promoting it as Batista Orton.
Yeah,
I mean, it's on the network, so I guess it doesn't make that much of a difference. But
It's also still going to be on traditional pay-per-view as well, though.
But they want people to order the network like for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And then just have it for 6 months anyway. Like, I think WrestleMania is still the whole selling point of the network.
So what way would you do it then? Would you...
I think you have to say it on TV first because that's a big deal to do on the show. You know what I mean? It's like because if you want those Bryan fans to know 100% that he's in that title match. You know what I mean?
I'd love it if they did that and then beat him.
or someone said in classic Triple H fashion, Triple H beats him and then says, "Hey, that was a heck of a match, and as a reward, I'm going to put you in that title match. You go, Daniel Bryan." Then he wins the title after losing to Triple H
Or if Triple
earlier
H
in the night.
into the title match. That's a virtual beating Daniel Bryan.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. I imagine they're gonna, just to add to the confusion of WWE authority figures, Hogan will overrule Triple H somehow and add that stipulation. I don't know. It is weird because it certainly seems like they cannot do that Orton Batista match without Bryan. But we shall see. I thought this was an okay Raw. I enjoyed it.
I thought it was good with the match they had, but for a WrestleMania on the road to WrestleMania Raw, very uneventful in terms of storyline advancement.
Did John Cena do anything? Oh, he cut a promo, and then the Wyatts cut a promo. It was unremarkable.
Yeah, completely nothing.
He referenced CM Punk, and people really don't seem to hate John Cena as much as they used to. I think because he's not in the main event anymore, and they also just don't seem to really like. He's just kind of there. John Cena's not doing a whole lot. He's just kind of on the show these days. Also, as good as Bray Wyatt is, and as good work as they've done with him, I don't really think people are frothing at the mouth for this match.
No, well, I mean, it doesn't help that they did the initial segment where they cost them the title at Royal Rumble, and then they just did nothing for a month.
A month, yeah.
And then they just arbitrarily cost them the title again in Elimination Chamber. So, I mean, it's not like it's been this long, slow-burning storyline. They just completely forgot about it for a month.
That match will be interesting. I'm wondering how... It could either, I think it could be really good, but it could also not. Depending on where you put it on the show, if the crowd are kind of lethargic,
I think it'll be good. I think
it could sink. It could be good though. I'm confident it might be okay. But yeah, that was Raw. I did not have the energy to watch Impact or SmackDown this week. I'm trying to think what I did watch. I don't think I wanted
Detective. What?
Yes, I watched a lot of True Detective and the other shows I outlined. I wanted to watch ROH this week because it had Styles versus Jay Lethal, but I didn't get around to it. I didn't see much of anything this week. Anything else? Didn't see NXT. A lot of talk about Leo Kruger's new gimmick.
Oh, I saw his entrance.
Is it Adam Rose? Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of it yet. I'll get around to it eventually. Try and watch it before next week's NXT. Yeah. That was wrestling this week, I guess, unless anyone's seen anything else.
Nope.
Alrighty. So I guess we have a pay-per-view to discuss very briefly before we go off air.
I can't bother.
So I guess no Kurt Angle EC3 then.
Well, I assume not. He's doing an open challenge, so it'll be EC3 against.
It'll be Gunner or some shit like that, or
Is Gunner not on the pay-per-view?
No, he is. He's in the lockdown thing, isn't he?
Yeah, so it'll be EC3 against Manic or something.
Possibly, yeah. Wasn't there a Manic match that I was told was good? Well, it doesn't matter. Anyway, what else is on? They've got their annual War Games match. Not only is it an annual War Games match for control of the company. It always used to be for control of the company, or it's for something. I don't know if they stuck to that stipulation, but it's the Wolves and MVP
And Jeff Hardy.
And Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy or Willow?
Jeff Hardy.
All right. Versus James Storm? I'm guessing, by the way, because I don't have this in front of me. Okay, let me look up the card.
James Storm, Robert Roode, and the Man Bros. The Bromans.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
So I guess Storm and Roode are kind of unofficially back together because they're both heels now.
I'm quoting on that one.
They did the American Wolves versus Beer Money at one of those one night only things.
No, sorry, it's not James Storm. It's Austin Aries.
Okay, yeah.
James Storm. Against James Storm.
Yeah, James Storm and Gunner are having a match. I have to say, Gunner isn't too bad. I think people give Gunner a lot of shit. I think TNA has done a decent job with him, and he is a good promo, and he's a serviceable match, I think.
Yeah.
Given that it's not like a million people are watching TNA on pay-per-view and it doesn't really matter. Yeah, I got the card open here. Sunday update, Ethan Carter 3 announced via Twitter that he will compete on tonight's Lockdown Card when issue an open challenge. Yeah, okay, so that's unfortunate for Kurt. So we got, here we go, this is interesting. Manic, who I assume is still TJ Perkins, will face Tigre Uno, who is from Wrestle 1, is he? Or he's... My lucha and puro resu from Japan is not very good. So I don't know. I've heard Tigre Uno is good.
He's a Mexican gentleman, apparently.
Well, I know he is, but I'm wondering if that's the company he is from.
No, he's just TNA. He's not from Wrestle 1.
Okay, so yeah, he's going to face Manic. Maybe that'll be interesting. I don't know. I haven't seen him. Bad Influence and Chris Sabin will face The Great Muta, Sanada, and Nakano. I asked on Twitter earlier in the week, I said, other than the odd New Japan, I don't really keep up with Puro. So I said, is there anyone from Wrestle 1 I should be interested in? And a couple of people said, yes, but no one who's actually coming to TNA. And apparently Sanada, who is the X Division champion, by the way, following that one night only pay-per-view, that won't air until like fucking June of 2016 or something. He beat Austin Aries for that title. So he is apparently good, but a bit bland. I was told, but I said that works in the X Division. That's fine. So yeah, Bad Influence and Chris Sabin against them. Great Muda will be as the Great Muda. That might be fun. 6-man tag and all that. We got Mr. Anderson versus Samuel Shaw. From what I've seen of this has been a very wacky feud. Samuel Shaw is the one doing the Dexter gimmick, by the way.
Yeah.
He should go back to wearing his Walmart baseball or basketball shorts.
Oh man, remember that?
Yeah.
I don't hate this gimmick. It's a bit silly, but whatever. It's whatever.
Sam Shaw's 30 already.
Is he?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Ken Anderson's 38.
Ken Anderson's a babyface for those who keep and score. See how long that lasts.
Right.
He's kind of come to the aid of Christy Hemme, even though he just came out of a storyline where he's talking about his wife and kids. Samuel Shaw has a weird choke finish where he's like a standing Taz mission from the side.
Isn't it like an arm triangle or something?
Yeah. It's pretty cool. I like it. I think that'll be an interesting test because they give him a lot of TV time, and to be fair, I haven't watched enough to know, but I'll be very interested to see if him and Mr. Anderson can have a good match. We got a. These are all cage matches, by the way, in case you didn't notice. Gunner versus James Storm in a last man standing match. James Storm is the heel now. I thought that was a very curious decision to have Gunner be the face when they split those two up, but he's done okay. The turn was good. Gunner went for a splash on Magnus in his title match, and Storm super kicked him midair. Mm-hmm. That was nice. That match might be good. They can use gimmicks and stuff, and they can use weapons or whatever. Madison Rayne versus Gail Kim for the title. Alright, here we go. Lethal Lockdown. MVP, Jeff Hardy and the Wolves versus Bobby Roode, Austin Aries and the Bromans. Theoretically, that should be good, but I'm not really big on Lethal Lockdown.
I only like them when someone takes a mad bump off the top of the cage.
Well, Jeff Hardy's there. Maybe he will.
Well, I don't know if Willow does that.
See, I'm curious what this Willow thing is. If that's just a red herring and he comes out and immediately takes his mask off and it's Jeff Hardy, har har, or is he going to be doing double duty and the Willow stuff's pretty terrifying, but And then the main event, Samoa Joe versus Magnus for the world title in a steel cage, and I believe that is Joe's rules, quote unquote, which is tap out or knockout only.
Yeah.
So I imagine someone puts a gimmick through the chain link, and Magnus hits Joe in the head with it, and he's knocked out. And there's whatever. Because I don't see them. I don't see Joe ever holding that title again, and I don't see Magnus losing this quick. So
I think Joe will be the champion again. I don't see why not. He seems to get a renewed push lately.
It's been like 6 years since he held it, and he's getting a renewed push in the same way like Mark Henry gets the... Well, that's a bad example because he won the title, but... the same way Christian will get the odd push when they need a main event and they've got nobody else. Because they've released people left, right, and centre and they're budgeting. And
do you remember how big a deal it was when Samoa Joe won his first TNA world title in 2008?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's only ever held that title once. He's never won it again since.
Yeah, exactly. I remember how bittersweet it was in 2008. People were like, you know what? We never ever thought we'd get CM Punk and Samoa Joe as the dueling world champions of the two major companies. but it was always such a qualified thing to be happy about it because they were both really not in great places as champions in 2008. But yeah, that match might be good. I like Magnus. I like Joe. Well, Magnus is okay. I like Joe. They've had good matches before.
They were a really good tag team.
They were. I really liked them as a tag team. Yeah. Where is this show on? Let me check the. Miami, University of Miami. Okay. I think this is going to be one of those make or break by the crowd shows. See how invested they are in Sam Shaw versus Mr. Anderson. See how much of a shit they give about Gunner, for example. I think that's going to be interesting. So yeah, that's TNA. We'll talk about that next. Or, well, maybe. I will not guarantee we'll talk about it.
I'll watch it like that.
I'll watch it. Yeah, we'll see. So yeah, that's Lockdown. And I think that's all we have time for this week. So some quick plugs before we go. ChairShotPodcast.com is where you go to listen to the show. It's where you go to listen to the full episode archive. Take a trip down memory lane as we approach episode 200. You can catch up on some of the great moments we've had over the years, such as that time we sang the Fraser song. That time,
oh yeah.
Ginger, banana, the thing, the water gun. It's also where you can go, ChairShotPodcast.com, that is, to email us. There's an email us button. It'll take you to a page where you can send an electronic letter to either myself, Joe, or Paul. There's a drop-down menu and everything. So yeah, just send it to the host of your choice, or send one to all three of us. We don't really care. Old and new listeners are welcome. Wrestling and non-wrestling related topics. Also, at ChairShot Pod for the occasional live tweet, and also updates on the show. At the Barry Lad, at Paul Griffin CSP, and at Griff Tannen are the Twitter handles for myself and my co-hosts. And I think that's everything I've got to plug. We'll be back next week with a Lockdown review, with Raw, more WrestleMania previews, more news, more movies, more life to discuss. Until then, it is goodbye from myself, Barry Murphy. Goodbye. It is goodbye from Mr. Joe Towder.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from Mr. Paul Griffin.
Bye.
This podcast was brought to you by loudyspeak.com.
Coming, Eudora.
Ooh, another good one from that. That's a really good episode of Simpsons, by the way. Really, really good.
Oh, God.
So, name.
Yeah. On closer inspection, these are loafers. I don't know. I still remember what we said on the show. Again. No, I said the thing about 1997 Survivor Series. Montreal Poo Job.
I'm not going to call it that, sure.
What was Joe's answer for Kurt Angle and DDP?
Diamond Dallas Cage.
Or Team Angle versus Team DDP.
Lethal
Mockdown.
Lethal Cockdown.
Lethal Mockdown, because that's what we did.
Lethal Brock Crown.
Just to hit someone in the crown with a man on it. I think Lethal Brock works.
Lethal Brock Throne. Lethal Brock.
Well, throne is spelled like down, isn't it?
That's a very tenuous link. But we've done worse, I'm sure.
Brockthrown. Yeah, I think it works visually.
Yeah, sure.
Lethal Brockthrown. Lethal Brockthrown.
Good. Oh, I need to pee so bad.
Alright, I'm gonna sort this out then. I'll be in the IRC.
Good luck, chaps.